hours ago, so I'm ready to get into it. Yeah, I guess I'll start 'cause I'm already talking. I'm spamming the mic. Yeah, I'm Durpee. Play DPS. Sometimes I off-roll play tank. I'm an Echo main. That's really it. Whoever wants to go next.
Healy,
You go
you're up.
next, Sam.
You want me to go?
Oh, me? I'll go.
Yeah.
I'm apply. I was benched in the Overwatch League. Play DPS, but I mainly off roll now. That's about it.
Okay,
I'm Sam. Are you want to go Pirate?
Yeah, I'm gonna go. My name is
go.
Pirate. I have no competitive experience. I just play ranked all day, and I
I
stream
didn't
and I play
realize
sport.
pirate is a pirate.
Yeah.
Yep.
How do you just realize that?
Bro, this is not a costume, bro. I like this shirt. It's a nice like striped shirt. Nothing wrong with. But every time I wear it, they're like, you're wearing a pirate costume. Bro, I don't even think pirates wore like striped shirts. I think that's like fake. But
Maybe. Yeah. Who knows? Who knows? I wasn't there. We actually could have a game because I'm like an assassin from Assassin's Creed.
Yeah,
so
you're
we could be
Ezio,
like,
right?
I don't know whose this is. I got this at PAX East like 20 something. I don't remember when, but it's freaking sick. Ezio's like my favorite from that game series. He is so fucking awesome. I had an Ezio poster. All right. Anyway, I'm Sam. I'm mainly DPS player, but I've had my time on Brig, as I think every Flex DPS did, and I like to play video games. So we're gonna talk about video games and have a good time today. Thank you for having me, Durpee.
Of course, bro. We're excited to have you on there. We know you have a lot of passion about many different things in the Overwatch scene. Okay, so as I was saying, we can start talking about it now. I already introduced the topic. I mean, I could repeat it. Getting tilted on the game. How do you get tilted? How do you express yourself? Do you think it's good how you express yourself? We can just kind of talk about general stuff there. Maybe we can dive into deeper topics within that. But yeah, someone to start off.
Yeah, I'll start off. Sure, why not? I don't really. I mean, back in the day, I used to be like a tilt demon. When I was younger, when I tilted, I would just shut down. Like even in, like scrims and like the pros, the guys wouldn't talk. But nowadays, I don't really tilt at the game. I just tilt at how boring the game is. Like I deadass could lose 20 games in a row and be like unbreakable mental wise. But if someone's like talking in my game, like I just need people to like talk and like actually make the game a game instead of just playing with 10 mute people in the lobby. And I don't really know how I express my tilt. I just get sad, I think. Like I don't like Death Slam anymore. I just get fucking sad. No one's talking to me. So that's about it.
I go next.
Yeah.
Start talking.
Okay.
Pirate.
I'm very passionate about the game. I always have been. Not to like to my own harm. I care a lot about being good. So when I get angry, I don't get angry at like the game or the game's balance or players on my team. You can't control that. I get angry at myself because that's all you can control. And I can't lie. Back in the day, back in like Overwatch 1, you see like Samito like perma complaining about the game, Durpee perma complaining about the game. You can't control that. So why your anger is misdirected. So and I don't know if you're permanently like tilted at shit that's out of your control, that's really bad habits and you can't like grow as a player, I feel like.
Pyro,
So
I like to
nowadays-
call you out on that. I'm a big watcher of your stream. I see you get tilted at the game and at other players in your team several times per session, actually a lot.
Wow. Fake
What?
answer.
What are you talking
You're always
about?
talking about how you only get tilted at yourself and you can't control other things. You always say the same thing opening up the stream. But I notice you do get tilted at the game. You do get tilted at other players. So you can't call out me and Samito.
I actually don't even know what you're talking about. I really don't.
What?
I really don't. If who cares if like this hero is broken or this random on my team is terrible? You can't control that.
But you
Who
still
cares, bro?
complain about it.
No. Well,
You always complain about your tank. Always.
okay, you're defaming me. Why are you defaming me? I don't do that.
I'm not. I want to make sure we're getting
I
the
don't do
honest
that.
truth out on the podcast. You don't gotta like create like this perfect image. You can be honest.
I'm not. It's not perfect. It's not. No, I get mad. Okay. Like I get angry. I'm an angry person. I'm not like I get angry a lot. But it's like, I think it's directed, like in a good way, because it's directed at myself, and then I can like focus on what I'm doing wrong instead of the shit that I can't control. So I don't like the way you're painting me as like, bro, you are the #1 offender. Look at you. All you do is complain about the game, and
Where's his-
everyone
where's
knows
his
what I'm
account?
talking about.
Where's his account right now? Durpee, where's your account?
Listen,
Mr.
bro.
PMA over there?
Listen, I'm not saying I'm PMA. Whoa, 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 whoa.
It's not even.
I'm calling out
It's not even,
Pirate for saying he called us out. Samito, I'm
Durpee,
on your team. First of all, I know why you're coming at me.
bro. Durpee,
I'm calling out Pirate for blatantly
before I
lying.
even like ever interacted with you, anytime I click on your stream, you're like, "Oh, this here's broken. Oh, support is so broken." Like, bro,
You do
shut
the
the fuck
same
up
thing
and
with
play the
Tank.
game. No,
You
I'm
do the
not even
same thing
joking.
with Tank. Okay,
What?
you know, bro, we
The
can get into
game's
me
balance will
later,
never
but
be fair.
I want to get to Samito. I feel like Samito wants to say something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hot take. I think that a competitive environment that's worth playing is an environment where tilt is involved. It just depends. There's like different types of tilting is the thing.
True.
Like, and there's people who handle it in certain ways. Like as a blanket, I think it's a good sign if people are tilted because that means that they're invested. And I think the worst place that you can end up is where Apply said, if you like, you don't want your players just like, being able to lose 20 and just not caring at all or not feeling a thing. But I think it's good and bad because it depends on the context, right? Ultimately, sometimes there's kids that are trolling on your team that are running their mouths, doing some shit, and you just tilted them, and it is what it is. I think Pirate's also right, like in that, like you have to be able to understand what you can take away from situations, and ultimately, I think that is probably the best holistic thing you want to do if you want to be PMA. But me, on the other hand, I like a little bit of Darth Vader. All right. I like a little bit of the Sith. I like a little bit of Assassin's Creed. All right. Sometimes you got to get in there and let some motherfuckers know that they're trolling. And sometimes it's you. Sometimes you need to hear it. Right. But I think that it tilts important because it means that people care. Right. And obviously, I think we should be less worried about tilting in general. And really, the only thing you need to ban are people who are slurring in VC. Other than that, I say let people talk. That's how you build communities. I think like, the worst thing that could happen is everybody out of voice, nobody ever calming, dueling on angles, and just like turning their brains off. And, oh, here comes freaking King Kong down main Winton that's going to have 1,200 HP. And I'm just not going to say a word to my team because nobody cares. Like, it's just. I don't know. I think that Overwatch was better when people were tilted and ranked and allowed to say what they wanted instead of like the system now where it just actively oversteps to the point where nobody's encouraged to say anything at all.
Dude, Samito, I agree with you. And I was watching a video last night of some of my clips where like there were some clip like okay, the video was 2 hours of Durpee clips and it was kind of funny to watch. But one of them was somebody on my team getting tilted and like yelling at somebody else, and like sometimes it's too far for sure, but like it's kind of funny when I'm in the situation. It's kind of funny when I'm in the situation where I have to bring the VC together and kind of tell everybody to calm down because I'm not that kind of player. You've all been in lobbies with me and stuff. Normally I'm the guy that's like starting conversations, but when that stuff happens, it's kind of funny, but also yeah, I agree. It definitely expresses passion. Like you really want to win and somebody's trolling, and it's like. Some people are going to get tilted. And I feel like that happened a lot more in Overwatch 1 and like very early Overwatch 2. And I feel like it just hasn't happened nearly as much lately. Like I kind of thought about it and I was watching the video and I was like, when is the last time anybody on my team has like even used their microphone? Like, and if they do, they're dropping 20 deaths on Juno or Mercy and then saying, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry guys," lol, or like something stupid.
I
Debbie,
don't belong to be here. Sorry.
What are you saying? No, I can't. I actually can't listen to this, bro. Before I interacted with you ever, before I interacted like back in the day, Overwatch 1, and you'd watch Samito, how many tweets would you make about like Bapti's lamp is being broken? Oh, it's broken. Brig is destroying the game.
Huh?
That is misguided anger. Oh, your Juno is like jumping off the map every fight. Who cares? It's part of the game. If you get angry at that every single time, that's not gonna help you.
Pyre, your thought
I
process
disagree.
is very
I think it helps me to yell at them. It lets me get it out, so then I can focus on the game. Because if I have like, somebody like hard inting the game, like I'm gonna flame them. Like and I'm not saying like mistakes. I'm saying like jumping off the map. I'm saying something to them. It makes me feel better.
I think in the modern era of gaming, we lost like the line between banter and shit talking, and people just being banned for toxicity. Like you said earlier, Samito, like if someone's ripping slurs, yeah, get them out the game. But I think if you're shit talking someone for their gameplay, you should be allowed to shit talk someone for their gameplay.
If it's about the
That's
game,
my take.
it's fair game.
I don't think
so
you
too.
should. I don't think you should get banned for flaming, but I don't think that you should spend all of your mental effort complaining about something about the game you don't like. Like, oh, I think this ability is broken. I'm gonna complain about it every single time it happens. That shit is like so bad for you. Anytime you click on a Durpee stream, he's doing that. I promise you. I think that's bad. Not to flame you, not to like. I mean,
Pyre,
everyone
you
does
mean
it.
not to flame me? You haven't
Not
been
to be
cooking
like
me
the
the entire
perfect
15 minutes we've been on here so far. But that's
Yeah.
okay. But
Well,
you can't
no.
say not to
Well,
flame.
You
bro,
have been attacking them,
because
though.
everyone knows I'm right. Everyone knows
You
what.
also can't say you don't do the same thing. I'm so tired of
I'm
this.
not saying
Nobody-
I'm perfect. I'm not saying I'm
but
perfect.
you're acting like it.
But I'm saying I'm aware of the bad habits that I have. You see the bad habits that you
I'm
have, and you're
aware.
like, no, it's fine.
I'm
No,
aware
you're
that I
not.
complain about the game, and I don't like doing it. When I'm complaining about the game for like 5 hours, I
Then
get
what are
tired of
you
doing
arguing
that,
with me for?
and I
What
blast
do you-
music.
that-
But I think
you
getting
just said
tilted is normal. I don't think it's like we should just shut it down and be like, don't
well,
do it.
I get tilted. I get tilted.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get
Why,
tilted.
why
but
are
like,
those two things mutually exclusive? Like, why can't both of those things be true?
you can't control like
Well, I'm
the
not saying you're
game's.
wrong.
I'm saying you can't control the game's balance. So if you get angry every time because something isn't like what you like, you can't control how your ranked teammates play. And like if
Well,
you're focusing on anything that isn't yourself, that's bad for you.
I think that you're right. You're not wrong, but I'm saying just because you're not wrong when you say that doesn't mean that Durpee's also not right as well. Like I don't think there's one universal answer to this because like there's absolute like look, the only thing that you can control is your play, and you're right. Like that should be your main focus a lot of time. But this is a team-based game, and there are a lot of times where you can work with somebody, and because you work with somebody, you win the game. So I don't know. I think it's fair at times. I don't think there's a blanket statement that you could put on. I think both of those things are holistically true.
And flaming like a teammate with the intention of like trying to make them magically play better, like that's fine. That's different. I mean, honestly, I mean more like complaining about the game. I think is really really bad, and I think like everyone does it. And I understand if you're like passionate, but like Samito, you're definitely passionate about the balance of the game. More passionate than I am. More passionate than like like anyone is really. So I get it. Obviously that passion is for nothing. I mean, but you're not changing anything. It's still like a waste, but not to like
Would you
judge.
say that? But would you not be able to say that people complaining about certain things in the game have made the game change for the better before in the
No,
past?
of course it is. Yeah, but if you're like every game
If
you
you're just
play, you
in a
get
ranked
tilted.
game.
Yeah, if you
Yeah.
get tilted and you're gonna play bad because you're tilted, and it's like that clearly is bad. I don't know what.
Sure. Yeah. That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah,
I
but I'm
agree.
not trying to say I don't know why Debbie's trying to be like you tilt all the time. Of course I tilt, and of course I complain about the game, but I recognize it's bad, and I try not.
Well, I
to.
just don't like that you're
And
frame
also-
one jumping at me saying I complain on my stream
No,
when I watch
because
your stream and you're also
you are-
complaining.
Okay,
You
but
do.
you're.
You
Bro,
guys are
pull up your
going insane.
headset,
No,
bro. Your
I
headset
can't
is like
believe-
hanging onto its last thread, bro. Like
Bro,
you slam your
okay,
fucking desk, your headset
yeah.
breaks into 5 pieces.
Bro,
You act like
yes,
you're.
bro, it's broken. Yeah, but
Yeah.
I get angry. Okay. Bro, what are you doing, bro? Like, yeah,
Bro.
I Suzu the ground yesterday, and it didn't Suzu me.
Damn,
and I
the
got
game
fucking
sucks.
angry.
We should fix that, no?
But like, bro, I didn't. I don't know what. I'm a human.
No,
I don't
but it's
like sit
okay
every
because
game
we
and
can
be
only
like,
control. We
"Oh,
can
this game's
control.
broken."
It's fine.
No, wait,
it's
actually-
like natural
actually,
to get
how
mad at
dare
that, and you got mad
Wait,
at
actually,
that.
how dare you? Wait, actually, how dare
What?
you? Bro, you know I have a mental of fucking titanium.
No, you
You know
don't.
I don't get angry at stuff out of my
Listen,
control.
you're like a
I-
very improvement-oriented player, and your whole stream is
Yeah,
like
I get
titled
mad
around
at
you like
myself.
playing well.
I get mad at myself. At myself, yeah. Which is like fine, because I'm passionate. Not I don't
He's
get
not
mad at.
wrong.
Thank you.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I don't think
Thank you.
either of you are wrong necessarily here. I think you guys are talking about two
I
different
think
things.
Debbie's wrong. I think Debbie's very wrong, bro.
I don't even know what my opinion is on this topic, bro. How do you think I'm wrong?
I think you gotta stop complaining about the game and focus
What's
on
the
yourself,
topic?
Bro, party,
Derpy's tilt. When
Nah, it's
Durpee
fine. It's
when
fine.
Durpee complains about the game.
bro. Yeah. Or I mean, your teammates too. Like, I mean, no one's gonna play good in ranked. So like, getting really angry every time is like bad. I mean,
Well, what if I just
obviously
feel
bad.
like when I play the stream, I'm gonna commentate on the game in a negative way? Because I'm used to it. It's not like I play by myself off stream and I'm like complaining to myself about the game. But when I'm on the stream and I'm getting shit on, I want to fill the dialogue with like, oh wow, bro, like I love that my hero can't do far away damage. You know, it's just some bullshit.
You could
Obviously,
be
like,
using. You could be no. You could be using that downtime to like fight plan for the next fight, bro. You don't understand.
bro, fight plan
Think
with
about-
who?
no,
Who's
think
in
of the
VC?
limits,
It
the
goes
limits.
back to,
No
it goes
one's
back to
Okay.
who's in VC.
Maybe
Nobody's
you
gonna
can
listen,
fight
bro.
plan to yourself. You can think. No, you can think for yourself. Maybe just. I don't
Bro,
know. You can still think about yourself. You can
If
be
my
like,
if
maybe I
my
should-
lobby's
fuck, what do
actually
I-
serious, I'll like think. But like, bro, if my lobby's like infested, bro, I'm gonna complain and then walk out of spawn doing whatever and like shoot them. And somebody's probably pre-fighted before I even get to the team fight. So who really cares?
Ideally, you're spending every second like thinking about the game.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
what
but
you can control.
ranked is not
Ideally.
like a machine though. Like it's.
I'm just saying that if you're like every time you die, you do a monologue about why you think that your death was unfair because like Aaron Kelly doesn't know how to make a game. I think that's bad for you. I think it's bad for you.
Well, you think that's bad for me, bro, but I'm gonna like keep
Yeah.
doing it.
You're an entertainer, bro. Okay, that's fine. Then
I
be an
mean,
entertainer.
it's whatever. I mean, you kind of whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go back to like nobody being in VC in the first place, because I feel like we saw a lot of people express their tilt more often in Overwatch 1, like we kind of mentioned. Obviously, the chat ban system has definitely been an important part of Overwatch 2. Maybe that's why people are more quiet. But I mean, and Apply said like you get tilted that nobody uses the microphone. Like I agree.
Yeah.
Like sometimes like maybe it's me getting older, but I feel like the older players, I'd always watch like Harblue, and he's like in love with calming. He loves using the microphone. I never quite understood it, and now I'm like really old, so I actually understand. The game is not the same without like 5 people in VC. Like when you get those games, it doesn't even matter what the average lobby elo is. Like it's just so much more fun versus like playing 15 in a row where you don't hear a voice, and it's like, am I even playing with humans at this point, or is this like all AI generated gameplay from my teammates? I just feel like we've kind of lost that in Overwatch 2. I don't really know what the problem is there. I think it's got to be the punishment system getting stronger. Not sure.
Yeah, I don't even need people hard comment like everything. I think just even the like part of online gaming I fell in love with as a kid, even on like Halo and NW2 and all these games, it's like even like I don't know if you guys played like on Xbox 360 back in the day, like Search and Destroy had forced voice chat. Like you couldn't be in party chat, you had to be in voice chat. Like I don't know. I just think even if you're not hard comment, just being there is just like it makes the game more fun. Like we're playing a team game, bro. But my first instinct is to blame the community for not calming, but then I think about Blizzard banning everyone for calming. So I can't even blame the people for not talking or typing because you hear stories about people getting banned for bullshit.
I think everyone. Okay, I mean, like maybe people are afraid of like bans, and that's very bad for the game. But I think everyone has just lost their passion, bro. I think when Overwatch just came out, like emerging esports scene, Overwatch League, everyone's like, "Oh, ranked is like this place I can prove myself." Now the game is what it's been out for like a decade now.
It's
Like,
not even true. In
n-
Overwatch League, all the good DPS players never even joined VC though.
okay,
I
well,
don't even
yeah,
think
I just mean
Overwatch
more of
League.
like I just mean more of like a caring about ranked. I feel like
That's true.
I,
That's
I
true.
don't
I
think
mean,
anyone really.
there's no reason to care about ranked. Like even in other games, there's rewards. Like, bro, I remember hearing that League of Legends gives their top 10 players or top challenge players like real physical items. Like I don't remember what season of League it was, but they gave out like some rank like the like top 10 or top 500 or something. You got like physical backpacks and shit. Like, what the fuck does Blizzard give Overwatch players? Like, there's nothing. They get jackets and backpacks and shit. Like, there just needs to be a reason to play ranked.
+1. Can I add on to this? I
Yes.
have a take.
Of
Yes.
I have a
course,
take.
Samito,
Let me
of
tell you.
course.
Listen, it's a lot of different things. I think number one, a lot of it. I think the main thing has got to be the report system and how they handle chat moderation in the game. Because Pyre, you talked about passion and like after like Overwatch League and all that stuff, but when Overwatch wasn't getting any content at all in from like 2020 to like 2022 pre-Overwatch 2, people were still coming in top 500 lobbies back then. Like you saw more people in voice towards the end, like the dead zone of Overwatch 1. It started to fall off for sure. Than you do now. I think it's for a couple of reasons. One, I think you're right that passion has gone away. I think that ultimately, and I hate to do it again and ring the bell again, but it's true. I think 5v5 took away so much of what was special in this game. And a big part of that was like team synergy and working together. Like a lot of the game nowadays is like the Giga Tank just down main while you just go fight your own little duel on the side, maybe. The DPS roles become like much harder in this game, in my opinion, because you just have way less direct ways to get value because there were 2 tanks you could kill before. Now you just can't. So there's no need to be in voice for one. If you play in 6v6 lobbies, actually, people talk a lot in the 6v6 games. Granted, there's a lot of diamond players in there, but there's more people coming in those games than there are in the main format. I'm not really sure. Well, I do know why. It requires more teamwork and, it's a more tight-knit community, to be fair, as well. So people kind of know each other a lot more. But the second thing I would say on top of that, I think, other than the report system and other than 5v5, I guess there were two different things. I think the report system really is the biggest one. But a lot of it does fall on, I think it ultimately falls on Blizzard. Like, yeah, the community needs to do better, and I'll get to that next. But it's on Blizzard to make people want to communicate. I see no reason why in Grandmaster Plus ranked voice chat is not forced. I see no
I agree.
reason.
I
No
agree. It should be
reason.
forced CC.
There's a mute button, and I'm tired of people being so sensitive to act like listen, people are gonna say bad things on the internet. That's the nature of the internet. You don't lock down on everything, including like, Durpee, for example, if it makes you feel any better. I know a Mercy player, she called some guy got bald and got banned for like 2 weeks and muted. It's like, are we actually muting people for saying bald in chat now? Like, are we that automated? Like, I know what is PJ collecting a dollar
Dude,
every
we've
time
got
he
like
hits a
the
support
Avengers of
ticket?
Game Masters. We got PJ, we got Game Master Quagmire, we got Game
Yeah.
Master. They got everybody over there.
It's crazy. It's crazy. 4 week ban. She said 4 week ban for calling someone bald is ridiculous. Because guess what, guys? How are we so sensitive that we're at the point where we act like people don't have a mute button?
Oh,
You
Samito.
can block somebody and never hear from them again in one click.
Yeah, no, they have so many things in place. I log on the game every day. I see the thank you for reporting. I've gotten used to like if I see the thing where like it auto filters the message, it says inappropriate message. You have to click on the thing to show the message. I'll just report them every time. I don't care if it's some stupid thing. I'm just gonna report them because the more people we get banned, the faster people are gonna say something about this. And like, I just think it's funny. It always works. Why do I log on the game and get a message every time? It's so blatantly automated.
Yeah.
It's so bad. And like nobody should get banned for this. By the way, it should all be like the worst thing
You
should
can
be a
mute someone.
permanent mute, even if
You,
you're like,
you have accounts being closed without saying slurs.
yeah.
Think about that. They're closing multi-year accounts.
And those are people that will
That's
like buy stuff
crazy.
in the shop. Like it's worse as a business to do that. You're
That might
losing
be
out on
why
money.
they do that. I mean, they might be
probably
doing
why,
that
yeah.
to make people go to new accounts and buy new skins. Like
Well,
that might be. That's not like
but
I'm
I'm
not saying
gonna.
Aaron Keller's doing that on purpose. I'm saying that might be a Microsoft Blizzard.
But I feel like you would
practice.
think about like buying more stuff on your main account versus like on a random burner. I mean, for me, I guess it's weird because I have like 4 different accounts I kind of go back
To
and
be
forth
fair
on. But
though, like the biggest skin sellers in this game have to be Mercy and Kiriko. I think that it's probably not even close, like
yeah.
to say that. And every Mercy player I know has like 5 different skins on like 3 different accounts. Like they have like they're buying them on like their alt, their main, everything. So I don't know, man. It's ridiculous though, and that's where Blizzard is to blame. Number 2, I think the main reason pros don't calm in this game or didn't used to is because if a lot of people on Overwatch Twitter knew how a lot of these tier 3, tier 2 guys spoke in the game or spoke in the scrims or the shit that we've heard over the years, dude, they'd get run out of this community so fucking fast with the shit that some people say, man. So they just don't want to deal with it and then have the tweet about them and then get in trouble. Like people just don't want to deal with that. So they just, what's the point of calming? Like Pirate said, it's just ranked. Like they're not going to care. So Blizzard's got to make it work. And then I think the pro community has to come together and say, fuck it. We're just going to actually play and try and talk. But Blizzard's got to incentivize it first. It really does fall on them.
Yo, I just want to say, I don't think forcing people to join voice chat would like do anything. You can't
Right.
force people. You can't force people to care. And also, like, most people when they talk in voice chat, like they're brain dead and they say things that are dumb. So like,
That's okay.
That's fine.
Most of the players in the game are not going to be as good as us if we've been playing for a long time. There's nothing wrong with that. They're all going to be brain dead. If they're talking, the game's better than full silence. I don't care if
I mean, yeah, of
Jimmy
course.
Boy 7 is being brain dead in VC. The game's been out for so long. I just need somebody to fucking talk.
I kind of do get tilted
Yeah.
though when somebody makes the most brain dead calm I've ever heard in my life. I can't lie. Like I kind of agree. Like, I don't know. There's some funny comms out there, but yeah, it's just like you feel like there's no human life after so long. Like 5
Yeah.
games, no comms. Like you
Yeah,
would hear
this is-
somebody.
This is kind of off topic, but on topic too. Like talking about how people don't really care about rank that much in the comm system. Why do you guys think that our community never had like a huge third party like rank system like some other games do? Like we had Face It every now and then, like some other random elo like things, but it's never lasted.
I mean, the servers are just good in Overwatch, right? Like in Counter Strike, I'm pretty sure they force you to play on what, like 32 ticks or maybe 64 tick. So like Face It was big because the servers were better, and then
Yeah,
like
but we sit here
cheaters.
complaining about the quality of the games, but if there's a way to make the quality higher by like having like a rank S or a way to like actually play together, it would solve a lot of problems, but we never do.
Do you remember FPL?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It was fun for a while. I played a couple FPL games and then just died.
You can't add any more players to that because like there's a skill line of you add more players and then they're gonna be bad and then games are gonna be terrible, and it just didn't work because I think queue times would be too long.
Yeah, it was bad because originally they had everybody in one pool. It was like if you were in Masters Division or
it was a bit of a
WCS,
mess.
you're in the same pool. So like these like pro players that are like playing in LANs would get like the bottom Masters Division team players in their team, and they just get mad. So then they were like, let's split it up, and then they split it up, but then you have like nobody in the pool, nobody's queuing, so you're waiting 30 minutes. So yeah, there's like that weird. They can't find like a
I
good
mean, like
middle ground.
FPL was cool, but like obviously it died out because I don't know. It can't. I mean, it had a lot of problems, you know. But I don't think you could ever implement anything like that
I
in
think the
Overwatch.
other, I think a couple things. I think one, Blizzard's native stuff is all really seamless and good. I think like how it feels to queue in this game, how it feels to navigate menus in this game, the overall engine is like amazing in general. So I think that people generally don't feel the desire to stray too far from it. On top of that as well, I think I never played an FPL, so you guys would have to tell me. But does Rollock make that a lot harder? Like, because if you compare it to a game like CS, like you just queue up and like are you not just in it in CS? Like, there you don't have to wait for a tank or wait for like worry about the other stuff in
Yeah, it
Rollock. Do
actually
you think that had
does. I
anything to do
remember
with
like
it?
the other rules would
Actually,
get
yeah,
games way
it did,
faster
yeah.
because you have one tank, or you have two tanks in the lobby. Then you have four of other roles in the lobby. So like tanks are waiting very
Yeah.
long.
Yeah. Okay. And then I think having some kind of open queue might have helped that as well. But you know, what do I know? I never played it.
I also think another problem is people just love SR. I've noticed in the Overwatch community, like every time they've tried a face it thing or like a different thing, like if there's not an insane amount of money put into it, people are just gonna go back to wanting to be on the leaderboard in the real game and like loving SR. Like that's
Yeah.
all. That's a big
Yeah.
part of it.
Yeah. Ranked mode's enticing. It's funny how we go from nobody talks in ranked to the systems are so good that people want to queue ranked. But it's tough. It's tough. So I don't think people just want to stray from it that much. It's always been like good navigation and fairly good queues. I mean, there are problems everywhere, but you get it.
Okay. Yeah, I guess we can move on to another topic we wrote down here. We wrote down new generation of content creators post Rivals. So like, we don't have to talk too much about Marvel Rivals, but you know that split that it caused with like some content creators leaving, some like other content creators stepping up, some coming back. Um, yeah, if somebody wants to get started on that, be good.
I'll go for it.
Yeah.
I think it's good. I think it's good. I think that Rivals, we'll briefly talk about Rivals. I think Rivals really allowed for a clean, excuse me, a clean split to come through. Jesus, dude, it's allergy season here. It's so bad. I don't have any water. I fucked up. Frog in my throat. Hold on. All right, we're good. I think that Rivals created the cleanest split that you could have between people who were looking for more like casual stuff and a new game to go to, people who were upset with how like the direction Overwatch 2 went, and a ton of new players in the hero shooter space, especially like console kids at home in America. I had guys playing Rivals that, you know, had not touched Overwatch in 4 years that still are playing to this day. And I think it was good for the genre, but it gave it took a chunk of Overwatch and replaced it over there with a bigger audience. So in volume, there's more people consuming hero shooter content, but it also allowed a lot more like new gen creators in the Overwatch space, which is kind of really flipped, I would say. I think Apply, you and I have been around for a long time. We kind of know, like, it feels like there's really been like a turning point in the last year or two from like original Overwatch 1 creators and like a whole new gen of Overwatch 2 with like the OWCS players being the kids that we watched play, when they were what, 12, 13, 14 grinding ranked, and you and I were playing in contenders and you were an owl and all that stuff. Like it's changed a lot. So I think it's really good. There's a lot of new people up, and I think Overwatch kind of needs its fresh faces to hopefully leave the past behind and keep going on the path that it's going with actual like substance to the content. Though I'm sure we'll get to Stadium here in a bit. I can't wait to talk about that.
Yeah, who are like the main faces? Like, like, would you guys consider PG like the new generation of streamers? Because I know he's been playing for a long time. I remember him playing Overwatch 1, but I feel like he really started
Yeah,
blowing up like last like 2 years. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would consider him
Yeah,
like the new gen.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and,
he's
like
like the new super.
Tree. Yeah, Tree's also doing really well on stream. Durpee too. I think all of you guys are doing really well. And
Yeah.
I think what's being said is true. Like I think Rivals allowed like a lot of the big streamers, especially like just the drops farmers. Like not gonna say names, but obviously there are a lot of drops farmers in the category. But I think it allowed the just smaller streamers to at least go to the top of the directory, because I know a lot of viewers they won't look for who to watch. They'll just click like the first line of streamers, and if the first line of streamers is always Flats like Aspen, Emog, Super, then it's impossible to find any new streamer. So I think Rivals like spreading the pool more definitely helped for the creators.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't lie. I don't know how. I don't know. I don't see the correlation at all. I don't know what
Of
that
what?
of Marvel Rivals like allowing more Overwatch like creators to spawn in. Like yeah, they take like the big Overwatch streamers, but
Well, it just makes
I
sense.
don't
No, you
think
have like people that.
I don't
Here's
think the
why.
Overwatch
It
Twitch
makes sense to
market
me.
acts like an economy of like a real life product. I think people are just like they watch whoever's like doing well, bro. I'm sorry to like be
Here's
like the
why it is.
antagonist of the podcast, but
Here's why it is. Because what's the most valuable commodity in life?
time.
Their time.
Did I get it? Did I get it? Oh my
You did.
gosh.
You did. Yeah, it's the most like people are choosing where to allocate their time, right? That's the whole nature of like drop farming. Like you could say the whole drop itself is a commodity, and if you have a lot of people, and this definitely is true, by the way. I'm not trying to rain on your parade, but it's like it's definitely true. Whenever it was the big reason why I started streaming on YouTube actually all those years ago, which now they've kind of abandoned it. It's really slowed down, but it is what it is, right? The main reason I streamed on YouTube was because the only person streaming, apply, you're gonna love this, was Jackals. Jackals was the only streamer on YouTube, and he had like 300 or 400 viewers, I think, back then. And I was like, you know what? I'm about to stream on YouTube too. And because I was the only streamer on YouTube, like I was easily at like 1K viewers, like pretty much all my streams, just because there was no like it's supply and demand. There's a high volume of viewership over there, but there was only one guy streaming this big game on the whole platform. And like right when I started that, I was like in the top 5 streams, like live viewers on YouTube every morning because
Yeah, I remember
this is
seeing
back
your YouTube
before.
stream
Yeah,
doing better than your Twitch for most days, like which is kind of
it
crazy.
still is. It still is
Yeah,
to this
for the
day.
majority of creators, that's not the case. So yeah, you that was genius at the time you did that.
Yeah, I wanted to do it, but so again, like if Flats and Emong or whoever and Jay are all streaming Rivals that day, the bottom fills to the top. And while some viewers who were playing Overwatch probably went with those people to those new games, like overall, it helped disperse supply and demand a little bit more. It's not like it's not a guarantee you're the next big thing or anything like that, but it's certainly easier if there's less people selling, hey, I want you to spend your time with me on this stream. That's a weird analogy, but
I
sorry, I
feel
had to go
like
on that.
I feel like it would be helpful if Overwatch, and I understand why they're like still like hanging on to Flats and CarQ, but like let's be honest, Flats doesn't want to boot it up and play Overwatch. I feel like Overwatch still kind of sponsors the same creators and still gives attention to those same creators. Like I remember when they used to always like on the launcher have a new creator on there, and it wasn't even always like Emong or Aspen, like those like 5,000, 6,000 viewers. It was like just some like 200 viewer streamer that's kind of on the come up. Maybe they put them on there and they'd rotate it all the time. They don't do that anymore. I feel like they could do that with the newer creators, but like I don't know. It still feels like there's still that group of creators that just gets to know everything first. They get flown out to those summits. They get all this, they get all that, and I understand why, because it's like, well, realistically, they're probably like at this point they're probably friends with the Blizzard people. But why would the
It's
Blizzard
sadly also
people?
because you guys give real opinions on the game.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
it is
It's
like
safer.
not really like a hidden truth. It's pretty obvious that like you do kind of have to be one-sided towards positivity. You can still give like feedback here and there, but for the most part, the people that are always invited to everything are the people that are 99% positive about the game on stream, on Twitter,
Yeah.
or content.
I mean, of course, yeah, but I mean, no one's. But you have to be a PMA streamer to. I mean, like, the new gen streamers are like not PMA. Like,
No.
not to
Okay, I'm
like
not saying I've got
Cardi
to get flown
fan.
out to Blizzard headquarters or Cardi fan, but like people like PG didn't get anything. People like Six don't get anything. I mean,
I
Six
don't think
still
PGE is anything
PG's
like.
pretty PMA.
Yeah. No, PG's a nice guy and he's like positive, but he still isn't like he's. You know what I mean? He's not like, oh, dare I say, like corporate. I don't know. He just is just he's just like
Okay, but
I
he's
don't know.
not gonna like go leak everything. He's probably mature enough to like if he got a
Well,
bit.
here's the problem. Here's the problem. I'll give you a start as to what it is. Number one, you OWCS guys have a horrible reputation of leaking.
That's
Horrible.
true.
Horrible. Applied knows this too,
Even
bro.
even
Like,
in Overwatch League, they stopped giving pro players like info compared to the content creators because the pro players would actually leak like everything.
unfortunately, your all's predecessors did not just burn the bridge. They salted the fields. They pillaged the village. Any chance any chance, you know, and I know you guys remember. I'm not to name names. There was one.
RuPaul?
One.
RuPaul?
Yep.
Yeah.
I was trying to beat around the bush, but there was the RuPaul incident, which they were not happy about, which is understandable, right? It's understandable because the I still am not a huge fan of season 9's breakpoint changes, but we can talk about that at some point. Yeah, I mean, look, the pro players have really burned that bridge, so it's going to be much harder for a guy coming from OWCS to get anything outside of OWCS. Historically, you know, it's burned Blizzard many times, and there's no reason they don't gain anything from doing that. They don't have to do that, right? The main reason why I'd say it's like flats on a lot of these other creators is, you know, they built like the content creator space is about relationship building if you want to succeed, right? It's a big reason why I'm kind of put off of it a lot more nowadays, and I like to just go do my own thing because, you know, there absolutely is a process to it. And that's not a knock at Blizzard or anything like that. That's just how business works. Like there's social politics in every single job that you have. And, you know, I think Apply is definitely right. Like, you know, if you want to be one of those creators, your job essentially should be more so around reporting what they're doing rather than being opinionated at what they're doing necessarily. And I'm not saying that you can't have an opinion if you want to work with a company like Blizzard or something like that, but it's a really to these creators' credit, it's a really hard line to walk. Like look at like I got a lot of respect for guys like Emong because like look at like imagine the position that he's had to navigate for how long? You know, what? Since the beginning, like literally the selfless days, the dude's been one of the bigger streamers in the
I think
Overwatch
Emong should be the
space.
face of Overwatch.
Yeah, he's a great
He's like the
guy.
only guy that didn't even go. I mean, he plays rivals for sponsorships, but even though
Yeah,
he's a stadium guy nowadays, like he's actually like true to Overwatch.
yeah,
He
he's a great
he
guy
really
too.
doesn't stop playing, yeah, and he is
Yeah,
one of those positive people. But for some reason, maybe I'm wrong. I feel like he doesn't give off like fake positive just for like
he's just him.
the invites. He's just like that. He's always been like that. Like
Yeah,
even when he was
Yeah.
on Selfless, like
yeah,
so I don't know. I feel like Emong's the realest dude in this community. But whenever
yeah,
I Q ranked, like I just pretend I'm LARPing as Emong and I just don't tilt. Like I just pretend I'm in his shoes and it makes the experience much better.
yeah.
I
That's
love
good. He's a
Emong,
great
but
guy. He's the prime example or prime example. Go ahead, Durpee.
I love Emong. Sometimes when I wake up at 9 a.m., you know, there's only so many streamers on, so I'll just kind of be popping around channels. I'll watch Emong sometimes. It's kind of funny seeing Emong. You can tell he's tilted, but he won't express it. Like he's very
Yeah.
tilted, but he won't express it. He'll like say like something that kind of signals like, you know, it didn't really happen how he wanted it to happen or something. But yeah, no, I love Emong. He's a great face of the community. But I feel like there's creators that like they should really just cut ties with, you know? Like I feel like it's really bad for the casual community when you're promoting people like I mean, I don't want to drop names, but some of the people that got flown out, like they really don't play at all. They don't want to, they don't care. So like when the very like casual people that will only see like headlines, they don't even really look at Twitter. They just see like headlines and who they're kind of promoting. And they go to those streamers and they see they're not having fun on Overwatch. I just feel like that's a bad look, but it does get awkward because all of the new creators, like you are kind of right, like they really do fall under that like competitive category. Like you know, not all of them are OWCS players, but like you know, most of them log on, they play ranked and they're tryharding. Like you know, even like somebody like Apply, like you might fall under that category, even though like you're not necessarily as tryhard as like Tree if he's booting it up because you've played an OWCS before. So like you've kind of expressed that you care about the game and like you love playing competitively. They probably think you fall under that category. So I don't really know like it is kind of weird. Who could they really promote up there instead of these other guys? But
Well, here's the thing. Like, I actually disagree with you from looking at it from Blizzard's perspective, right? Like, you're gonna have a group of creators that represent your existing base for advertising, but you're also gonna have a separate group of creators who are designed to get swing players to come to your game, right? So, like, when you talk about like consistent Overwatch advertisement within the Overwatch community, that's like Emong, Jay, you know, whoever else has been doing all the events that the devs reference. I mean, you guys know the list. Like, it's a short list, but there's that. But then you have like the Tim the Tap Mans. You have, you know, whoever else that's out there that, you know, would swing into Overwatch that might check out an update that like I actually understand why they're flying them out there. Personally, like I've never cared for that just because it's not worth your time or energy to worry about it, especially as a creator. Like my advice to you would be to just focus on you and enjoy what you enjoy doing when it comes to content creation. Like good things will come your way over time. It's all social politics. Like you never know who's like actually going to stick their neck out or who isn't. If you're willing to sign up for that ride, go ahead and do it. but don't let that overwhelm what you think about
Yeah.
how you want to approach
I used to
content.
care about not getting invited to like everything, and I still don't get invited to anything really. Like I had like one ad because of like a stadium thing the other day because Super said that like I should be on his team, but a long time ago, like I don't remember like one of the BlizzCons or one of the championships, one of the Blizzard devs like running the marketing part, called me to like the hotel and we had a talk, and he said like they really want me to be in like the streamer Discord and stuff and get all this stuff, but it wasn't my action, but my chat's actions. And like I don't ban my chat if they say like like the R slur or like if they're toxic a little bit. Like obviously if they're going crazy, I'll ban them. But he basically said like this like stupid shit doesn't get you invited, like stuff like that. So like you have to really, really even your chat has to be like perfect to be invited to like the really deep stuff.
I mean, Blizzard wants Overwatch to be like a not competitive game. I don't know. They want it to be more appeal to casual and like good vibes. So everything else is just like brand risk, bro. That's it. I don't know.
Well, it's,
I don't
it's a
think.
super progressive game. If you don't come across as progressive, like you're way less likely to get there. It just kind of is what it is. Like let's call it like they're not inviting awkward to shit for a reason. Like we'll leave it at that. That's all. That's all that has to get said on that. But I when was this apply? Like 22 or 23? What
Probably
year?
22. I told him
22.
too. I'm not gonna change really. Like
Yeah.
I don't I'm pretty PMA on my stream, but you're gonna have chatters that are just stupid. Like, and I don't believe in banning all of them because then you just have a dead chat. Like, especially when you're a small streamer, you ban everybody that's like slightly toxic. So like, yeah, like 22, yeah, 23, I think. I don't remember,
Yeah.
but
It might be different
I'm
now. Who knows?
I remember being shocked. And even then, like I eventually did get invited to like the creator Discord, which there's like a billion people in. But I don't know if it's true, but apparently there's like a stage 2 like streamer Discord like
There is. It's the
that.
same. It's the same Discord. It's the NDA section and the non-NDA section.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not in the NDA section, so I don't really know like what changes that. But
If you guys want
yeah,
the lore on the creator Discord, we can go into the lore on it.
Do
But
it.
I really
We're
just
only
don't.
getting this information out of this podcast. We need to go into that.
Dude, so believe it or not, me, Nateson, and Frito were like the first people in that Discord. It was like me, Nate, Frito, Seagull. Who else was in there first? I think Emong. It was like it started out really, really small and it was really chill. Like eventually they just started letting a lot more people in, and like at least this is back when I was in there, and then like people let it get really political, and then it became very messy very quickly. That was my experience. There was a couple crash outs in there towards a specific streamer that I regret stepping in to asking people to stop, is what we'll say. There was some drama. But it seems like that was always what it was. It's the culture changed a lot from like 2020 in the Kaplan era when it was being run to like at least towards the start of Overwatch 2. But it is really, at least from what I remember. And to be fair, like the community managers I know that are there now are like all super chill. But there was a time where it got out of hand and there was no intent to rein it in, we'll say. In fact, it doubled down on the exact thing that I thought was the problem. But what do I know? I'm not involved with it anymore. I'm gone. I'm gone. I'm doing my own thing, brother.
So what do you do in your Blizzard? And it's like all of these creators that, are more on the casual side, kind of just like playing video games. Most of them left for rivals. So now your creators, the up and coming guys, are super turbo competitive. And that's really
Good.
that's not all you see, but that's most of what you see. What do you do as a Blizzard in that case? Like how do you promote that game?
you
How
just
do
do
you
what
keep
they're
that
doing right
going?
now. You don't give a fuck. You just keep paying the people who left the game to
Yeah, and
play
they'll keep
during the
doing it because
beginning
they're
of the
getting paid to
season.
do it.
Well, they're
Yeah.
the swing players too. And to be fair, I actually think it's a good opportunity because
Yeah,
rivals
I
brought a
don't think
lot
it's
of
bad.
people. Go ahead. You go ahead.
I don't think it's bad to pay like I think when they should pay like Flats and like all those big streamers to play Overwatch, but I also think that the smaller new creators should get opportunities too. Like I don't think they need to stop giving them sponsorships just to give like smaller streamers or newer streamers deals, but I think they should just do both, or I don't know, switch it up sometimes.
Yeah, and maybe it doesn't even have to be like.
Take a shot at Kai Cenat again. You
Yeah.
remember that?
Yes.
Uh,
I don't know. Blizzard should want their game to be competitive. They should want it to be. I mean, look at like
They don't
League,
though at
look
all
at Valorant.
whatsoever.
They
They
don't,
It's
actually,
and they
it's the
won't.
exact
Yeah,
opposite.
sadly they
They're
won't.
so.
you think they
I
don't take it seriously? You guys think they
No,
won't take it?
no,
No, not in terms
they
of
won't, and they don't.
Well, competitive
They
as in
don't.
like wanting to win the ranked game. I don't think it's like wanting to like compete in the game market. That's what we mean by
Yeah.
competitive. I'm assuming.
Yeah. No, they just like want it to be like a more casual. Like it's so different to all the other competitive games, and I don't know why. I really don't know why. I mean, it's a competitive game, and people are interested in the competitive side of it.
It's a higher ceiling for sure. I think they do want it to be competitive, but I also think that it's smart of them to go after like the Tims and the Flats and those guys.
Yeah,
I think Flats is overhated in the community nowadays. I think I understand why with some of the stuff that he said and other stuff, but the Overwatch community also has a very bad habit of vilifying big creators in its space. They've done it and they've driven away some of the most successful talent in the streaming space altogether because of how like mob mentality it can be on Twitter and social media where a lot of these streamers exist, right? And I know we've all seen it on Overwatch Twitter over the years, and I'm not trying to single everybody out and say, "Oh, you guys are all the problem." That's not what I'm trying to do, but like, it's happened. Like we alienated XQC. I really think it's a big mistake to do the same thing to Flats when there's a ton of new players in the hero shooter genre on Rivals. Like, I called Rivals after I played it in June of last year, where I was like, yo, this game actually be good. How good? I don't know. I don't know. But it's still going to be fun and people will play it. I've certainly had my fun on the game, though. I'm taking a break now till they nerf support alts. But there's a lot of people that have come to the genre that would easily, just by playing the Overwatch engine for what? You guys know, we all got addicted to this shit, right? For an hour on this game's engine. It's the best shooter engine like I've ever played in. And it's certainly better than UE5. So maybe bringing a lot of those players to try Overwatch for the first time or get into another hero shooter where it's definitely more shootery could be like a great grab at swing players to make Overwatch's new seasons better. So I think it's a bit of both. And I hope that people can come to that with an open mind. I know you guys will, but I don't like seeing Twitter gang up on people as if it's helping the Overwatch scene or helping Overwatch as an IP or create the creator scene either, because it's not. It's not.
And I think they're trying to leverage a lot of people to Stadium. Like I was looking at Aaron Keller's tweets, and obviously like we know they're trying to promote Stadium a lot, but I didn't realize it was so bad. I looked at Aaron Keller's replies on Twitter. I got really bored, and like I think his last 30 tweets, all 30 of them are like Stadium, and maybe 2 of them are about like, oh, new season dropped. Here's what we did. But like most of them are about Stadium, and the thing is, I don't think anybody really wants to play Stadium. Like,
Yeah.
it's just
No, that is not true. No, that
What
is
are
not
your all's
true.
thoughts on Stadium, really quick? Can we
I
go
don't really
around
like
and
it
get your
that
thoughts
much.
on
Myra loves it
Stadium?
apparently. What's up, bro?
I have never played one game of Stadium in my life. Actually, I queued one game. No. I queued one game with Durpee and Cardi Fan, and mid game the entire server crashed. The entire Overwatch servers
Yeah.
crashed. So I haven't completed a game of Stadium yet. I'm not trying to flame it. I just okay. Well, I hate third person like games. I hate aiming in third person. Like it's just weird to me. I know you can like disable that. I don't think I knew that at the time. But either way, I'm just a competitive player, and um, I mean, I could probably have fun playing it. It's just like time spent towards
Yeah.
not
I,
the main
I
game.
think Blizzard's always made the mistake of not understanding what the community actually likes. Like even hearing about towards the end of Overwatch 1 where they just thought like let's just fully in on PvE. Like let's just make Overwatch 2 more about PvE. Obviously we know what happened with that. But I feel like that was never the play. Like Overwatch wasn't ever popular because of Junkenstein's revenge. It was popular because of the characters and the way they interacted with each other. And now they still won't realize that. And so they make Stadium and then even these shitty PvE events. I think even since like the beginning of Overwatch, they really didn't understand why people loved the game. I still think they're struggling with that.
So, question, Derpy, do you want to give your opinion, and then I'll ask? You can go
I
first.
don't really
I'll
have a
ask
separate thing to say.
Okay.
Good.
Okay. So, question, like, from what I've seen, at least in terms of alternate modes, Stadium has been pretty successful. Like, what would you guys define as successful? Because, like, to me, first of all, let me say this: it's a Mickey Mouse mode. It's a Mickey Mouse mode. That's not a bad thing. It's fun, and some people enjoy it. But it's Mickey Mouse. Like I'm gonna call Mickey Mouse Clubhouse the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, and I'm gonna sing the intro while I run it down. It's the Mickey Mouse Stadium. Like it's cool. Everything in it is cool. The new pieces they put on the board for like building skill trees and picking stuff, that's all awesome. To me, I consider it an alpha because it clearly is getting live developed as they go. Like it's very clearly not in its end game phase. But the formatting of that game is so fucking terrible that I
Yeah.
just don't even cue
But
it.
even Emong's been complaining about it, like all the changes
Yeah.
they make, and it's rare to see that.
Yeah.
I think
Did
it's
he?
the best arcade mode they made. But the
Yeah.
problem is, I think what Durpee also said is it seems I could be schizo, but it does seem like they're trying to promote it almost like it's like the main game. Like it at its core, it's another Mystery Heroes, but they're everything. Even the patch notes, it seems like Stadium is the main game. Like I think they're treating it way too much like this is our new thing, like this is our golden goose, but it's not. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's fun as an arcade mode.
Yo, I mean, Stadium is like a game that probably keeps the retention like of a casual player for longer because every game is so much more different. And then the casual players make them more money, and then they'll be they'll play for longer and then buy all the skins. And because that's a more profitable game mode, of course they're gonna promote it like it's main game mode.
Is it? Is it? Would you? Do we
No,
think
no,
Stadium's more
It might be more
profitable?
profitable because you can see your skins, and
Maybe.
people
Okay.
might want to see their third
It
person.
drove
shooter
additional
skins.
sales. It drove addition
Yeah.
because it's like what? Because yeah, you're sure.
People are probably less like people will probably get less bored of a game mode where you can like create a new build every time than
It's
the
cool.
main game.
That's all cool stuff that many people wanted with Overwatch characters. I guess I find it really like people flexing their stadium rank. I find is like not silly because you should be happy that you're high ranked in something, and I'm not trying to take that away from you. But people try to conflate that towards competitive Overwatch, and where my brain immediately goes is that guys, that's not competitive Overwatch. Like, listen, you could be very good at Stadium. I'm not saying that your rank in Stadium doesn't matter, but that doesn't correlate at all to the actual game. There's no swaps. It's to me, people. The funniest thing that people told me when they tried to get me to play it was, "Oh, but you can pick the trees to counter the super tank." I'm like, motherfucker, that Zarya is 1,000 HP. Like,
They made
I
Ryan
played 5
playable and
game on
that tank is
DPS.
broken.
Dude,
Yeah.
I played 5 games of DPS. Could not, like, it was so hard to win. I was in a dogfight against a Zarya getting pocketed by his duo. And I was like, all right, fuck this. I'm going to pick tank the next game. I picked tank the next game, and I was raid bossing in their backline as Zarya, and it was so easy. Playing DPS, like, Stadium is a more apparent version of 5v5 for me, where, like, what I hated about 5v5 is even worse in Stadium. And the format is just like, it's arcade. It's not. It's the best arcade they've ever done, but it's not the actual game. So do you guys feel like that they're prioritizing Stadium more than the core version of Overwatch?
Well,
And if
obviously,
so,
That's
like,
what I was
why?
For
saying
this
when I
season,
brought
they
up.
definitely are.
Yeah, that's why I brought up Aaron Color's tweets. You can see what he's focused on, and if he's focused on
Yeah.
that, then everybody's focused on that. And I agree with Apply. Like, I agree with all you guys. Like, Stadium is good where it fits. Like, it's definitely good for the casual community. But I mean, Overwatch, like, the main game is Overwatch, and Overwatch is a great game. Like, it got Game of the Year so long ago. The gameplay is great. Everybody knows that. I don't think they need to completely act like the main game is just not. They don't really care about it anymore. Because that's what we've seen with these patches, where it's like, oh, maybe we'll get some perk changes in the mid-season. Maybe we'll get some perk changes at the start of the season where we like change a number
Yeah,
from 1 to 3. But
this
like,
balance patch was
it was
so
terrible,
lame, man.
It's a
I
filler
was
patch.
and they don't
happy.
care.
I was really happy to come like to me like what made me like decide to play Overwatch in season 18 is I came on and I played with Reaper's perks for a day. And I was like, man, this is fun as fuck. Like playing with Shadow Step was genuinely the most fun I've had playing Overwatch since like Overwatch 1 like DPS Doom.
Yeah,
I
I think
had
there's also
so
a
much
problem
fun.
with Stadium too, is that I think they're convincing themselves that they can make these minimum changes for the main game because the patch notes for Stadium are crazy. Like they changed like everything this season. So while you saw it was disappointing, and we all saw it was disappointing, for those casual viewers that love Stadium, this is probably the best season like ever. But it wasn't anything for if you play the actual game.
So do you think that they're trying to make Overwatch into Deadlock? So question is, well, 2 questions. 3 questions. 1, how much Deadlock have you guys played?
I have like 1,500 hours.
Yeah, you've been
0.
playing a lot. I
Yeah,
think
I
I've
play
seen
a
you
lot.
playing
I
it.
play a lot, yeah.
I've never
2,
played.
do
Like
you all
1,000
think
hours.
that Blizzard knew about it in advance? Because if you guys remember, before Deadlock was announced, there was a Deadlock streamer name.
Yeah.
Deadlock was a
Well,
streamer name.
Deadlock
So
was
I don't,
always a thing because of Ash, but I like the theory. They're
like,
like
I don't know. That's the
they've been the
question.
Deadlock gang for a long
Yeah.
time.
Yeah,
But
maybe
I
that's probably
think
what it
Blizzard
was.
can never do something like that. They're too afraid to commit to something. They're way too safe. While people always say like Deadlock will fail because of these things, they will never try to commit to something the way that Valve is. And I also in that way, like the MOBA aspect and the items and buying stuff, I also think Stadium falls really flat. Like Pyre earlier said, like, oh, you can make new builds every game. You really can't do that in Stadium. You can do it for like 5 games, and then you
And then
play
get
the
out of
same
there.
build archetype, and that's it. But like, it's just tough. I don't.
It's not balanced. It's not
It's not
balanced.
only not balanced. I mean, most MOBAs aren't balanced either. Like, I don't even think balance needs to be the goal. I think it just needs to
Sure.
be fun and like creative, but there's not much creativity. I know that the majority of people who play Stadium, their complaint is that like just gun builds are OP, like just making your gun stronger. Like, why don't we just play the main game then if we're just using our gun again?
Yeah, and again, I think the main thing holding Overwatch back, and I'm sorry to sound like a broken record, making raid boss tanks destroyed so much depth in this game. Like I made this analysis. I won't talk about rivals too much, but there's something to be said about how rivals and why rivals at this point in time was the first hero shooter in Overwatch's entire existence to launch and succeed. It's the only one in 10 years that's ever done it on a worse engine. And people are saying, oh, the Marvel IP carries this game. There was a million Marvel games before that game, and they
Yeah.
all flopped. Many of them flopped. What is different about this one? And they captured the magic and the chaos of Overwatch 1 because of the format. There's no, like, despite all the egregious sustain and ults in that game, which are designed to be way more casual, not fine tuned, not balanced at all, something about the gameplay loop they got right. And my analogy is Overwatch 1 was the Krusty Krab, and freaking Marvel Rivals is the Chum Bucket. Mr. Krabs decides to start making pizza. They make super tanks. They go to 5v5. We do roll lock. We do all of these things. And then Plankton steals the Krabby Patty recipe, is now making Krabby Patties in the Chum Bucket, and the Chum Bucket's doing well. It's like, yo, get back to making Krabby
I
Patties.
agree that Marvel Rivals took a lot of the early formula from Overwatch 1 and took it, but I actually think that Rivals' biggest like uh thing that made it popular is time. The fact that Overwatch was so old, like we're on year 10. If I think if Rivals and Overwatch came out at similar times, I think Rivals doesn't see the light of day. Overwatch just stomps that game, in my opinion.
Which Overwatch?
I think right now,
Like, no,
Overwatch
no, I'm
still beats
saying
Marvel
like
Rivals.
Overwatch 1. Oh, so you're saying like Overwatch 2. If Overwatch 2 and Marvel
Yeah.
Rivals right now came out at the same time, Overwatch
Yeah,
would win.
I think so. I mean, at least in my experience, I just like you said, all of the problems to me because I played so many games growing up. Like I started my obviously on like Xbox, and I played TF2 and Counter Strike Source and stuff like that. Playing on that engine makes my balls itch. Like I can't play that game.
Yeah.
So I think if it was a head-to-head battle without time on Rivals' favor, because this is a new game, how long is it? It's been out for a year, basically.
Yeah,
I,
a year.
I think Blizzard, first of all, is a whole new topic, but because Overwatch 2, people look at Overwatch 2 for being out for like 3 to 4 years or whatever, but realistically, this is almost a decade old game. We're a
It is.
decade into the
It is.
game, so when Rivals came out, it's just even I put like 300 hours into Rivals because it was just new and fun. Like it's just fun to play something new for a little bit. But I think at its core, Overwatch it does everything better
But
besides 5v5.
I have to say, yeah, Marvel Rivals did pretty well. Obviously, yeah, Overwatch is a decade old. I mean, it's the hype, you know, it's that's a long time. Okay, so like, of course, a new hero shooter, people are gonna play it. But also, like, what other hero shooters came out besides Marvel Rival? I mean, nothing else.
Lawbreakers.
Gundam
There's a couple.
Evolution. I
Nobody's
played
ever heard of that
Yeah.
ever before. Don't
Played
even.
that for a week,
Nobody.
bro. That was too
I
fun
think
for
Marvel
Overwatch
Rivals
to come
is
out.
garbage. I don't know what you're talking about. Caught the chaos of like captured the chaos of Overwatch 1, but I think it's just like something new. I don't know. Like I feel like the game is
I
it's
mean,
not really redeeming.
you could say that and you're not wrong, but it's succeeded. Like it's going to maintain it. Like it's a successful game. It's not dead a year later. It's
Okay,
gonna
so
be sustainable. It's gonna maintain how much I don't know. Right, I'm not sure, but it's a sustainable business, and that's way more than all of the others. And there were a lot like Lawbreakers in 2016, Gundam. Remember, people were saying, what was it, Realm Royale? You remember that apply?
Yeah, Lawbreakers was probably the best out of all of these games. It was just ugly. Like everything was just gray. That game was actually pretty good. I mean, Lawbreakers just died because Overwatch stomped it, which is the same thing I think about like Marvel Rivals. If Overwatch came out the same as Rivals, it'd be fucked. But I do agree with Samito. I think I don't want to talk about 66 versus 5v5 for fucking 7 hours,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it did make the game just dumb. Like it is more death matchy, and some people like that. But I think what people fell in love with Overwatch was the chaos, and Rivals does the chaos just poorly. Like it's still there, and it's just a bad game.
Yeah. Now I don't want to talk about it for 7 hours either, but we do have Samito on the podcast. I feel like we have to talk about 5v5, 6 or
We
6
can.
for a little bit. And I guess I'll start off with my thing. Yeah, as a tank player, I think 5v5 is totally unfixable. That's my stance. I mean, for tank at least, because like, yeah, tank is
I
broken and nobody
agree.
likes playing against it, but playing it is terrible because you can just get countered by 4 players and they just shoot you and it's like not fun because I mean it's 5v5. There's one tank. That's my stance on it, POV wise. I'm trying to think of a way where they can make tank like work in 5v5 before I'm just saying go back to 6v6. But I don't think you can make tank work in 5v5 at all, so they have to acknowledge that. And they've tried so many balance patches where they like turbo buff tanks. They turbo buff everything to make tank not as broken. It just never feels good. Tank could have a million health, and like I'm playing Orisa, the enemy tank goes Zarya. Oh, we both have a million health, but his hero counters mine. He could be a platinum player. Like he's still gonna find a way to get some good value because he just counters the hero. And like that's so many matchups where it's like tank is super oppressive, but it's not hard to win because it's just 5v5. You're just swapping your hero and you win. 6v6, there's so much more to think about. And then, yeah, obviously that's going to cause more people to use like VC because you have to use your brain to win. I think you just lose out on so much like gameplay
Yeah.
potential in terms of like skill and communicating and stuff.
Yeah, before we give the mic to Samito for his 4 hour rant, I wanna ask what is, because I don't like 5v5 either, but what is the main argument for 5v5? Like what, why do people think that 5v5 is better?
Well,
Which
I know
ones do
what.
you want to hear? Go ahead, Pirate.
Why you go fire?
In 5v5, there's less like slop on your screen. You know, 2 more tanks. It means that you're looking at a tank, you're healing a tank, you're looking at a tank, healing a tank. It's just garbage. Now in 5v5, you can take more duels. It is more deathmatchy, but that's fun. Don't act like that's not fun. It's not fun to be looking at a tank, and it's not fun to take an angle and then there's a diva in your face. Now it's not fun to perma heal and shoot a tank. It's not fun. Now when you take duels, it's more of like a, oh, you can win by being mechanically good and have impact. I understand that the tank role, you know, you can't really make a tank do everything. You can't make one tank do the job of 2 tanks. It's hard. You know, but I think Durpee's being a little bit dramatic with the whole like,
But you
oh,
just
I
said
play
that it's
Orisa,
not
they go
fun.
Zarya, I
Dude,
You
it
said
can't
it's
is
not
play.
true.
fun
It
to
is
shoot
true.
tank all day. You said it's not fun to shoot tank all day and look at tanks all day, but that's the reality of 5v5. Obviously, not the entire time, but
Not
Well,
for the
really.
most
let me
part,
say this.
in 6v6, they would blow up really fast. You can kill tanks really easily, except for
How is
ghosts.
the game more deathmatchy when there's 2 raid bosses that dictate most of the game that no one can kill unless someone else dies first?
Because when you take angles, it's more, when you take an angle, it's more like impactful.
Yeah, but half
If
the
you
time when you take that angle, there's going to be the tank in your face that you can never beat no matter what.
No, because no, because if there's one tank, the tank can't mark you when you take an angle.
Sometimes it can. It can only mark one angle. It's not gonna be doing nothing. It'll be on one angle of choice. It can't get both of them. But what was cool about the game before, and this is my big argument again. Well, we'll get to this when we talk about 5v5 and 6v6. But in my opinion, I actually find it less deathmatchy because in 6v6, and this is where it also gets tricky. The big problem that I've realized after playing Rivals is I think enemy number 1 was role lock specifically. Because I think that if 5v5 was an open queue, you wouldn't need a super tank. They wouldn't have to be super broken. It's one, the design direction they chose to take it to justify it because nobody was queuing it, which I think apply. You might be right. That's the end result. And 2, I think let's say for argument's sake, on paper, death matches and taking angles and duels was what the goal was because it was that is what the goal was. They wanted people to be able to duel more. They made way more supports duelists in the game, which I actually think is good. I think that for having unwinnable duels against tanks actually takes away from that compared to what 6v6 captured in role lock or in open queue. But I guess taking it past that, queue times was a huge argument. I think the biggest enemy of queue
Why
times
is
is
queue
role lock.
times the big argument though? The reason queue times were so dead for that game because there was 3 years no updates. Like their queue
Yeah.
times weren't an issue in 6v6 when the game was being updated. Really, like from my perspective, the last 3 years of Overwatch is when queue times got really bad. Like people were in hour-long queues, but that's because the game was abandoned for Overwatch 2.
And the
So
tank meta was boring, you know.
yeah,
That was my argument. But the reality is with the numbers that they have, and Jake argued this, a lot of people argued this, and I actually don't necessarily, I don't think that they're wrong. I just think it could have been offset more. Is that, hey, listen, no matter what you do, tank is the least queued role in the game. People hop on and they want to play, and this is in role lock. This is all under the blanket of role lock, which I personally am at the point now. I think role lock was where it all went downhill, and I was one of the biggest role lock advocates. Like I've played open queue for 9 months on Rivals. There's absolutely a way where you can do some kind of preferred role queue system where you can assign, hey, there's at least going to be one support on a team, a support main. There's at least going to be one DPS main. There's going to be at least one tank main, right? That like we can try to get this into a match somehow, some way. But once you go to role lock, whether it's 2-2-2 or 1-2-2 or whatever, Hawk is right when he said the designs get homogenized. Like, look at the fucking 5v5 tanks that we have. I am so happy I did not play this game when Hazard was out. I hate him now. How bad was he on launch? Like, these characters have to
He was really
be able
bad.
to-
That was
they
really
have
bad.
to do everything. Like, they have to do everything. Like Hog
Yeah.
could not be released in the game today.
The evolution of everything tanks.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Hog could not be released in the game today. He couldn't come out. Like, he cannot, like, and even now, he's been one of the most problematic designs. Like, not only is this unfixable in 5v5, but if you asked me today, would you rather 6v6 open queue or I forget what I was going to say. Damn. Something like, what do you prefer? Or 5v5 with roll queue? I would choose 6v6 with open queue every time. Because what was so special about the game is that the matchups were winnable on every roll. They've destroyed deathmatch in the game that they tried to make more deathmatchy. You'll never win a duel against a tank on any roll. But if you're playing Ana in Overwatch 1 or in 6v6 right now, and Azaria uses her one bubble and you sleep her and you nade her, she will die almost every time. Almost every time she'll die. You could create those kills. If you sleep Azaria right now, it just does not matter. It doesn't matter. She's just going to live every time. So they took all the depth out of the game, and I don't even think it's more deathmatchy at this point because of the raid boss tank. And they can't address tank and roll lock, especially 5v5. It's just not solvable. I say you axe the whole thing and shake up the game and go back to 6v6 open queue for a year. Why not? Keep Stadium 5v5. That's your baby now.
I think 6v6 has a chance of coming back. I was even talking to Tree about this like a couple days in his stream, like what he expects from the 2026 patch, which I know we're gonna talk about later. But he said probably team ups, which is the majority of people think, and then like I think 6v6 could in reality come back, but I don't see them ever doing open queue again. I think roll queue will probably stay the same. I agree with you about open queue, by the way. I think if in a perfect world where Blizzard can balance open queue, it's better than roll queue, 100%. I just don't know if they have the capabilities of that.
Keep in mind, it's not full open queue in 6v6 either. It's like they limit 2 tanks. So like some kind of like hybrid format with the option for flexibility, because that's how you keep the game fresh. Like that's the one thing I did like about Rivals a little bit. Like when I was queuing with a support player was that, dude, you see a lot of triple DPS comps, though no one knows how to play triple DPS anymore. I have to explain to my team, hey, if we have a Mercy comp on Lijiang and we're on Merciana, let's not pick 2 tanks here, guys. Let's not pick Hog Queen because Queen can self-heal. Let's go triple DPS and let our Hog run around. And like we could win that way. A lot of those styles of play, ironically, the more deathmatchy styles of the traditional game, which I loved playing Echo and Pharah into those comps, into the Brawl. Like it was fun as fuck on triple DPS. So I'd like to see those come back because that gives more variety in the game, especially with perks now too. I think that actually would do more than the trees and deadlock.
Yo, if you want more variety on the game, play Stadium, bro. Like I don't know why I like 5v5 is so balanced and you acting like I'm making a 30 DPS or no, the game is beautiful as it is right now.
No.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
really
how do
beautiful
you-
having
how do you
Godzilla run
think-
around.
How do you think the game will grow then, Pirate? Oh, his fucking mom walked in.
yeah, something like that.
No, it's all good. I mean, I agree with you, by the way. I don't think Overwatch is bad right now. I think it's stagnant is my take. Like, I think if you think the game is really good right now, then how can the game grow again? How can they get players back or get new players to play the game again without something new and more variety?
Okay, well, Overwatch doesn't brand itself as a competitive game already, so it's not like
I think it
they're
does.
trying. Okay, look, I mean, but we talked about that earlier, bro. They don't promote
Well, hasn't Aaron
competitive.
question? Hasn't Aaron come out and outright said that their end goal is to make Overwatch the most competitive shooter?
Okay, they can say whatever they want to say, bro. I don't know
But
what.
they haven't done it. Is your point?
Yeah. I mean, if they're saying, bro, they're probably just saying stuff to say stuff. Bro. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't think you need to make the game. You don't have to change the fundamentals of the game to make it more interesting. You think that people thought making it 5v5 like was more interesting? More people started playing because of 5v5. No, that's your like gimmick because you hate that. So I think the game is fine as it is right now.
I personally don't think the game's fine when you have characters that if you could take Apply right now and put him up against a Masters tank in the game that's quote unquote more deathmatchy, and the Masters tank would beat this top 500 former pro player that's been a veteran at this game for 10 years, that tank would win the 2-on-2. If the tank was pocketed by a support and the DPS was pocketed by a support, the tank would win that duel against a player significantly better than him 10 out of 10 times.
Okay, and who complains about 5v5? The tank players, but only tank players complain about it, okay? So you can't have your cake and eat it.
DPS players hate it too. They can't kill the tanks anymore.
It's not even about
Well, why
the
would you want to
complaints,
shoot the tank?
though.
That's lame. Shooting tank is lame.
Disregarding you keep saying shooting tank is lame, but that's the reality of 5v5, though. Your own argument is used against you.
I don't agree. I don't think
in my opinion, like, I think in 66 you can melt both tanks faster than you can melt the one tank in 5v5. Obviously, our vision is blinded because we played metas like goats and double shield, but that's not a 66 problem. That's a hero problem.
And hero bans too, I think, changed a lot. To be fair, I think hero bans did help 5v5 a lot. I think it helped 5v5 more than it helped 66. They're great in both places, but there was a bigger problem with the swapping in 5v5 than in 6v6. But back to you guys, sorry.
So besides the death, despite the
I forget what
besides the deathmatchy
talking about
part
shooting
of
tanks.
5v5,
Shooting tanks.
yeah. Besides the deathmatchy part of 5v5, Pirate, like, what do you think 5v5 does better than 6v6?
Bro,
if it is just this deathmatchy stuff, that's fine.
Well, I think it's a lot more fun in a lot of ways. I think again, as a squishy, you have a lot more impact by being able to take duels without having to look at a tank, and you're rewarded for that. Just less slop on your screen. It does make the game more deathmatchy. I don't really understand how Samito is saying it doesn't. I understand tank is like giga buffed now, and like that makes it unfun. But I think especially on healer, you have a lot more like impact because you can take aggressive positionings and take duels and have more value instead of having to look at 2 more tanks on your screen. And I think that just especially for like even the casual audience, because I think that makes it more fun. And then you like in the highest like level of the game, you lose out on that tank synergy. The game is obviously a lot less like team based, less like strategic, but I think it's more fun for the game. Like the games are fun in almost every like way.
So can I answer? I'm going to hop in. So a couple things. One, I understand why from your perspective you would like it more. I think the role that's benefited the most is the support role because it's been able to become a lot more fun and like you can do a lot more. However, I don't think there's anything more slop in this game than having a character that have so much health on top of damage that it can never die. And you have King Kong versus Godzilla on the front line, where previously, to me, what isn't slop is thoughtful playmaking, is everybody on the map being able to make plays on each other. I think that for what you gained on taking angles on support, you lost in that you actually could kill the tank previously. If an off tank or somebody else made a mistake because the roles were way more relative, you could make a play on that person still then.
Bro, I'm playing tank at the highest level is like, it's harder, bro. In 5v5, you make any little mistake or you take one step too far, or you die. You have a lot more.
Not on tank.
You're
Not on
wrong.
super
I
tanks
don't know if
anymore.
that's
You're wrong about that.
I think
No,
you're wrong. Yeah.
Tanks get away with murder in this format compared to 6v6. They get away with
Hawk
making
is
way more
LOLing
mistakes.
you right now. I just want you to know that. A lot of O's too in between both.
Okay,
L's.
I'm just saying that playing, especially the ground tanks. So if you make any mistake,
No,
like any
what? You
slight
cannot say
cooldown
you get
issue,
punished on ground
I'm
tank
not
in
saying you
5v5.
can't make mistakes, but like, would
Oh,
you
yeah,
not
you can.
say
Yeah,
that
you can
if
make
you
mistakes
have
on ground tanks in 5v5.
way more
Let's not act
health-
like you can't.
Go ahead, Durpee.
Sorry. Yo,
No, you're good.
what do you mean you can play Ramatra pre-nerf before, and Ramatra's still broken? What do you mean Ramatra pre-nerf with the armor bug and holding arms forever cannot make mistakes or he dies? What do you mean?
I'm legit gonna be real with you, bro. Not to be that guy. I'm not fucking talking about like low rank games, bro. I understand why it's less fun
Yeah,
to
and
play
what do you mean,
5v5.
bro? In the highest ranked lobbies, you
with-
can make mistakes in Ramatra, especially pre-nerf.
I don't agree.
What?
I think in a Ramir, I think it's like if you fuck up,
Dude, you've never played. Okay, you played 6v6.
because you have the most
question.
pressure on you.
I have a question, Pirate. So, what would you call having significantly more health, stronger cooldowns? Like, do you acknowledge it? Like, the tanks have way more individual sustain as well as cooldown power in 5v5 mode compared to 6v6 mode, right? Like, you can acknowledge that, right?
Yeah.
So how would that not equate to being more forgiving in a one-on-one
Well, let me
matchup
say this. I played 6v6 and
or any
5v5
matchup? I
in this
guess.
game. And obviously the 6v6 lobbies right now are super dead. You got like plat players at fucking rank 1 through 10, whatever, right? Like we all know that. But when I went from 5v5 to 6v6, I did it like a month ago at the end of the season. I would play like Sig or Rhine, and I'm probably, one of the better players in the lobby because it's filled with plat players. But like I would just find myself like dead randomly at some points. Like I had to get used
I
to
bet
like
on
playing
Doom so hard.
6v6
I bet
again.
on Doom so hard.
Like I would just die randomly on Sig because I'll forget I had only like 400 health versus 700. But like I'm playing in way better lobbies in 5v5 with better players that are way better at the game. I'll play the exact same, but I'm allowed to do so much more. I'm not gonna die like unless I turbo misplay like worst play I've ever made in my entire life. I'm not gonna die first on tank. But like in 6v6, even against plat players, if I mess up one cooldown slightly, like I'll probably die. It's just how it is. I don't understand how you think you can live more in 5v5 or live more in 6v6, like get punished harder in 5v5 on tank. That makes no sense. Like I can understand why as a support player you would like maybe prefer 5v5 more, but like your take on being able to be punished hard on Ramatra pre-nerf is completely brain dead.
Well,
You
it's
can't be.
any tank though. It's not
Yeah,
just
well, yeah,
this is
yeah.
this is this
I'm
is
doing the
this is
same
what this is
example.
my big point. It's like I don't want to hone in on like one specific character because they did it to the whole role, the passives, the arm, like all of the stuff. For how it feels for me for trying to and I think this is a big part of trying to make role lock specifically work like the way that it is DPS was the most queued role in the game. And so what ended up happening to DPS in Overwatch 2, playing DPS in this game is a million times harder and frankly less fun because the supports are better duelists and the tanks are raid bosses. So who do you make a play on 80% of the cast? Like your options on DPS in Overwatch 2 are way less fun in this game and there's way less that you can do. But on support, like you gained a lot, and that's been reflected in the queue times too, because this is what they have to manage with role lock. They don't just have to manage a balanced game; they have to manage the player percentage population queuing each role, which means you ignore making each role the same level of power. Because if every role was the same level of power, which it would be an ideal situation, I want for everybody to be able to impact the game with equal opportunity, regardless of their role. But they have different ways and means of doing it based on the role they like to play. Support should not just be heal bots, right? And Pirate, question for you as well before I keep going. I promise I'll wrap it up quick. Do you think that if they added more of the dually natured supports that like Wu Yang, where you can have your heal orb on somebody and you amp your healing by doing damage, if like, Alari, characters like that, do you think that playing support in 6v6 would have been able to be more dual centric like it is now if some of these other characters like Kiriko existed in Overwatch 1 when it was the main format?
Okay, I mean, obviously, yeah. I don't know. I don't understand. It's still
No, so I
if
just
Kiriko
don't know
wasn't.
if you think it's more of like a format thing, or do you think that would your opinion have changed if more 6v6 was played when those dually style supports were designed instead of Brig and Moira?
Well,
I guess Moira's a duelist too, but you guys
of
know what I
course,
mean.
it's both. I don't. Of course, it's still a format thing because you're a lot less like incentivized to take such like aggressive angles because there's too much tanks on your screen. But it's not like, bro. I don't really understand.
That is
Okay,
a good
you
point though.
answered it.
You
I
add
mean,
here
I,
like in 6v6, your heroes were Ana, Baptiste. Like they like if you obviously go for a flank on those
yeah,
heroes,
well,
you're probably
in
dead.
it's
But
the
now you have
same for
6v6,
tanks too. It's more true for tanks, in my opinion. There were like the tanks back then were Orisa and like Ball that got added. Like if Ram had been out as an off tank, if Queen had been out as an off tank, if I'm not gonna mention Malga, even Hazard like as a reasonably squishy off tank, I think could have probably gotten a lot of value in play. It's not just support. I think it's both the tank too. But I guess back to my point. I just thank you for answering the question. Back to my point. It's like they've adjusted role power and they've had to compromise the matchups and the role strength to make role lock work. Because you guys remember what happened when in season 7 of Overwatch 2, when they had a Weaver, Alari, Bat meta. Do you guys remember that poke meta that came up where it was just like Sig, Alari, like I forget, and
I
the
thought it was like
DPS was
Sig, Kiri,
useless.
Lucio. I remember that meta. That was fun. It was like I swear it was like Sig,
There's a couple
Bastion.
of them.
You had to play
It was
Bastion.
like, yeah, something like that. And ranked, it was so hard to get value in DPS that DPS queue times in top 500 were instant and support queues were like 15 minutes. Like they've had to adjust role power which to me compromises the integrity of deathmatch altogether. A deathmatch is when everybody can, it's like a kill race between everybody. But what if one role can never kill another role? That's not fair. That's not deathmatch. That's, I don't know what that is. It's Dead by Daylight. It's not deathmatch. And that's what DPS has become against like at least tanks, and I'd say like probably even against supports, maybe a little bit favored against supports, but most of the cast isn't. So I don't know. I think that 5v5 and role lock in particular have just completely skewed the power dynamic. And I've never seen Aaron talk about it. I've never seen them actually address. Did they ever address how strong tanks had become? I remember they were buffing all of them. And did they ever come out and say like the end result of here we are 3 years later with all these buffs to the tank role, here's where things stand now?
I don't think so.
I'd love to see somebody because like it is obvious. Like people recognize this how broken tanks are, right? Like it's not just me becoming like an old man yelling at clouds, like the Simpsons episode. Have people talked about? Has it been a talking point in the community?
Yeah, obviously it's not with the devs though, because they'll never acknowledge that because it's not something that they can fix by just like changing a character. It's like a core element, so they'll probably never acknowledge that. Like,
Yeah.
because that's a game issue, not like a character issue. I mean, maybe they'll acknowledge it when they go back to 6v6, surely.
And they can do some seasons of 5v5. I'm not saying that it should be permanent across the board, but it's shocking to me that, and like, and to everyone watching, this is true. Like, you could put a Ply who's been, how long have you been top 500 for? 10 years? Like, literally 9 to 10
I
years?
don't know. Yeah,
If
probably.
you had a 2v2 with both pocketed with Kiriko's, like dueling, and it was that you on DPS versus like a high Masters tank, that tank would win every time on Diva or name the tank. You would never be able to kill them, and you are a better player. So like that is just,
And
to
it's
me,
also the
that's not
same on
deathmatch
tank. If I'm
anymore.
playing in Platinum and I go against an Orisa and I'm playing Ryan, he's probably going to make it so I can't play the game. Because he's just going to shoot me on Orisa and I'm playing Ryan. Or like if I'm playing Sig and Zarya, like, you don't have to be good at Zarya to win the duel. So it feels bad for everybody, I feel like. In that essence,
I
where
also think
tank is really
something that we can mention is like we keep talking about the deathmatch thing. Like, I don't even know if the community, I know Pirate does, but I don't even know if I really wanted like this game to be a main deathmatch game. Like, I feel like Overwatch popped off game of the year. And even I remember Short4 talking about this like a long time ago, like 2017, 2018, that Blizzard needs to lean into one of them, either like the not really like MOBA aspect, but like just the team play aspect or the really like individual deathmatch aspect. I feel like they've gone full deathmatch or trying to go full deathmatch at 5v5. But I don't even know if this game is at its best when it's like a deathmatch game. I feel like I know everyone hated GOATs and stuff like that, and I think GOATs was trash because of how long it lasted. But I think some of the most fun metas in this game are team-based metas.
True.
Yeah, that's totally a fine opinion to have. I mean, also like look at like Durpee, bro. He plays Reinhardt. People are playing
Okay.
different games than the rest of us, bro. So I get that, but like it's always an opinion thing. That's why I'm like trying to be like more like reserved. This opinion thing. I like mechanics. I like dueling. That's just what I like. I think Overwatch does that really really well in 5v5. I think if you don't like that, you can play Marvel Rival or like League of Legends, bro. So it's just it's an opinion thing.
So you think there's
But
no mechanics in
I think
66 or less?
of course there's still mechanics, and I think that in 5v5 like you can mechanically outplay with 2 less tanks on your screen.
I don't think there's any change in mechanic intensity. I think that I think we're blinded by the really shitty Overwatch 1 metas. But a lot of the Overwatch 1 metas early on were just equally as mechanically intensive, especially like the Korean dive metas with like Zen, Lucio, Tracer, Genji, shit like that. Like, even though you say there's 2 tanks and slop on your screen, you still had to aim just as much or fight just as much on off angles you do now.
I would argue as well that your mechanics actually rewarded you more because the matchups weren't dictated by what role you were on. Like right now, like at least 20% of the duels, maybe more than that, like are dictated more because the tank is always up in front. Like there's one angle that tank is always stuffing. You can never win it by taking on the tank. Almost never. Like I shouldn't say never. An overwhelming majority of the time, you can't win that. And I think that your mechanics could win you more duels in 6v6 because the matchups were relative. And there were 2 matchups on the front line that you could win while flanks were still open. But where he's right is that as a support in 6v6, like you are having to heal more because there are 2 tanks taking damage. And it's more important then when those tanks take damage. Now, taking damage as the tank, it almost doesn't matter as much because you have so much more bailout. You have what? How much more HP? How much more shield? How much more direct DM, right? So there's way more time for the support to actually go look and swing for those duels. So I do see his point, but I think that's such a small part of the game compared to what we lost by giving it up, like winnable matchups on the front line.
Yo,
That's just
doesn't that make tank more of like a unique role? You know, you're more of like a obviously like a less mechanical, but more of like a positional.
no,
If you're
because there were more because it was a dance before.
It's
Now
less
it's
positional now,
you
Yeah,
in
take
my
one
opinion.
corner and you hold it forever. It feels like.
Yeah.
At least maybe I'm wrong, Durpee. You can speak on this more than
There
we
is, I
can.
mean,
No,
even in
you're right.
66, like communicating with your tank partner, it was like, I think the way you said it was smart. It's almost like a dance. Like, also with tanks right now, I think all of the iterations of off tanks turn into main tanks. They're all awful. Zarya main tank is not fun. D.Va main tank is not fun. Obviously, they're fun because they're fucking OP. But it was way more enjoyable to play D.Va with a main tank than it is to play D.Va alone. At least in my opinion, watching it. Like I think 6v6 was much harder and unique as a tank player. Like spectating and just playing it.
I got shit on when I tried to play tank in 6v6 at first. I was like, wait a minute. I got checked so hard. I was like,
You
wait.
can actually die.
Like, and no, the thing is, you have to talk to the other tank.
You do, yeah.
You have
Yeah.
well, I don't want to say but like it's so much more important, and that's a big part of voice chat being gone now as well, guys. Like they removed the necessity for voice in game, but that's the same thing that made it special in a lot of times.
I also think when perfectly balanced 6v6 enables you to play really whatever you want, and we saw it at the end of Overwatch 1, where like, even though the game was dead and it didn't get patched, it was actually a pretty good patch it was on, except for
It
like
was,
Roadhog
yeah.
existing. That was pretty trash, but other than that, like in ranked, you could really play whatever you want. Double Bubble, Winston Zarya, you could play Double Shield, you could play Ryan Zarya, Ryan D.Va, you could play Ball Sig, Ball D.Va, whatever you want. As long as you're good and you're better than the enemy team, you're gonna win, and that's not just on the tanks, that's on everybody playing it. But like right now, it's like you have to play Zarya. You have to play this, or you're
Well,
losing, even if you're better at something else.
it wasn't like you couldn't outplay everything, but the word I like to use because I got in a bad habit of using extremes is that it's more forgiving because again the matchups are more relative. If you have one tank and it's a fucking raid boss and it's that much more powerful, this is where they did a disservice to counter swapping by buffing tanks so much. It's more imperative that you're on the right matchup because your DPS aren't capable of swapping to mitigate it. Like if there was a Zarya in Overwatch 1 that was carrying the game, I'd swap Hanzo, and Apply knows this too because we play Projectile. If you hit one headshot on that Zarya, you're forcing bubble and he's on his toes for 8 seconds trying to get back in the fight or play. Like he can't just bulldoze your team. Like one good shot on DPS could blow the fight open on a tank front line if you hit it. And now if that Zarya is running my team down, I'll headshot her once. It'll be reduced damage. She's not a one-hit KO. She's probably like a 3 or a 4-hit KO. And that's assuming she doesn't have 1 or 2 of her bubbles.
And she's
Like,
getting
it's just-
Suzu'd once both bubbles are
and
used.
she's and this time as well, even Jeff Goodman said this when they announced 5v5. Every single support CD in Immortality, which every support has, or like not every support, but a lot of supports have just like a boom, get out of jail free card, which I actually I didn't mind as much in 6v6, but they're going to be able to get used on that tank way more. So like it's almost guaranteed, like there's way less room for human error for me to capitalize on a play. And that dance, like that's what Marvel Rivals captured for me throughout its, here's where I will agree with people on Rivals being slop. Some of those support abilities that just heal easily, it's sloppy. Rocket Raccoon, sloppy. Cloak and Dagger, sloppy. But entry level for gamers, right? Entry, that's what it's intended to be. Even throughout all that, with tanks more killable on the front line with characters like Wolverine, you can create human error plays with these characters playing them fucking selves for these absolute glue eaters on controller. I got a controller, Rocket Raccoon one trick with a 40% win rate on Cloak and Dagger on my team. And then I just logged off the game. I was like, I can't do it. And he was like it was so bad, guys. It was so fucking bad. It was the worst shit I've ever seen in my life. But even throughout all that loop is there for playing DPS and Rivals. And it's not after playing 5v5 on Overwatch again, even with perks, and perks helped because I loved Shadow Step. I loved those things, which they nerfed Reaper harder than they buffed tanks. And it's like, dude, What? Why? Just nerf dire triggers. Durpee, I hit your ass with the fake TP like 8 times, bro. It's my
Dude, you
favorite.
hit it
It's
one
fun.
time, and that game was already over, and he posted it on Twitter. Look at the top of the screen. You had 99%
Yo,
and a
Pirate,
I was
point.
in that game. I was in
guy's-
that game.
That
This
game was
guy's
over.
complaining about his teammates again, bro.
I was
He's
in that game,
complaining
bro.
about his teammates.
I was his teammate, bro. He's complaining on me. Holy, oh my gosh, bro.
That game was like,
Hey,
I
this
don't
where
remember
this
the
stems
lobby,
from?
but dude, that game was over. Like, it's last fight of the game, I'm just down main pinning, like, I'm looking for a kill, like, whatever, I don't care.
Yeah, okay,
Samito hits me with a fake TP, posted on Twitter, nice. Like, and you always do
It's
that,
fun,
I've seen you do
though.
that so many times, that's your signature move. You need to switch it up now,
I
because
know.
we're catching on.
Dude, I can't do it at all anymore because I now get my perks in the mate. It's
Yeah.
just it pisses me off. But either way, I think that's all I really got on 6v6. I would love to see those relative matchups come back. It made the game way more dynamic and interesting and encouraged a lot of team play. And personally, I think that you can still maintain more consistent duels across every role without, without necessarily destroying like the teamwork aspect of the game. Like I think the teamwork aspect of the game would be better in 6v6. So I'd like to see that come back. I think it helped the community, but just spice it up. You did 3 years of 5v5. Sure, it worked. Sure, it didn't. Either way, spicing it up is good. So
Yeah. Okay, I think we can end
Look, I mean, some people just like more MOBA-y games, bro. And that's fine. It's no judgment.
I like better
team play
games.
Yeah, it's just team
I mean,
play,
look,
there's more
bro.
coordination.
Look,
Yeah,
team play
all
is
right,
more. There's
Neely.
more. I mean, look, there's more coordination in team play in 6v6. I agree. Overwatch is a very beautiful, mechanical game, bro. What a shame it'd be if you had to look at a tank all day.
You
Kinda
didn't even
like you
try
now.
it, by the way. You played 6v6 and you played Doomfist for 3 games and left.
I played Overwatch 1, bro. Don't what are you talking
Well,
about, bro?
without
I played,
Kiriko, without Alari, without Wu
yeah, I played
Yang.
like BAP.
Yeah, you
BAP
played
and, like,
BAP.
This guy,
BAP
he'll
can't
get on, he'll
So-
BAP
two-tap
can't
his
off
Zarya and
angle
then
and do
he'll
what you
die
love
and
to
he'll
do.
be
You
like,
can't
wait a
do that
minute.
on BAP. You're not allowed to, but on these other heroes you're allowed to.
Dude,
But they
BAP is
added.
insane in 6v6, by the way. Holy shit, he's so good. If Diva's banned,
Yeah.
get a window up. Pop him
Of course,
off,
because he
bro.
sits down main and does a lot of numbers, bro. Of course, he's good.
It's fine.
Pirate, you still played a lot in Overwatch 1 when they didn't have those heroes and it was 6v6. You still play the game a lot. So what was going
Yeah.
on there? Why do you like it?
I played BAP and I just like clicked on people, and it was
So you
like,
can't do that all
that
of a
was it.
sudden
what do you mean?
if they go back.
Oh, of course I can. What? I don't understand.
So I
It's
just don't
The game
understand.
becomes more. Bro, you just I don't know.
I feel like
it's
your
more
whole
of,
thing is like you love doing damage on support. That's your entire thing. And
I don't like
it-
I don't like that. I think a deathmatch more game is funner.
Okay, but deathmatch heroes like Kiriko, like Alari, Samito talked about it, was perfect. Those are added now. You can do that now. It's like in 6v6. You can
And you
still
can kill the tanks.
Yeah, but it's less impactful.
you can still art.
Well, I might
No,
be
it's more
crazy,
impactful.
but
You can
I
hit
swear
one headshot on
Overwatch
Kiriko
1
and you win the fight.
Was not that bad with tanks. Like you can kill tanks, and you didn't have to heal your
You
tanks
could.
that much.
You
Like
could.
I feel like
It's just
we're
force you to.
remembering Overwatch 1 wrong, which is why I think our memory of Overwatch 1 is shit meta.
I think it's like
But
double
the
shield
game
memory.
wasn't always like that. Yeah, like double shield and goats was miserable, but the game wasn't just a tank fest in 6v6. I agree that it was way more chaotic and AIDS, but you're making it seem like there was no mechanics involved in that game. It's not the case.
I mean, I'm not like trying to make it seem like that. It's just more clicking on a tank. That's it, bro. It's not that like complicated.
Okay, we should
We'll
wrap
see.
up the
How about
5
this?
Like,
We'll let
nobody-
them go. They should go back to it, and we'll see.
We can step into the next subject because we're still going to kind of talk
Let's-
about it with this next
yeah,
subject.
let's
But
do it.
Apply brought it
Let's
up.
do
The big change in 2026 they referenced. I mean, every like 6 seasons they always drop something. It's like the season 9 change, then you got perks, and we're gonna have something in like season 21. It's gonna be the start of 2026. Yeah, I guess predictions. What do you want it to be? What do you want it to not be? Somebody can start us off with that.
I mean, Apply, I think you mentioned it. I would expect team ups. I hope it's team ups in 6v6. I do. I think it'll definitely be team ups, but I'm unsure about 6v6. I think that how am I glowing? Is this from my light right here? I think it is. Oh my goodness.
I think a team up where you have another tank.
Would be cool. Yeah, that'd be crazy. That'd be crazy, right? Unheard of new patch. Yeah, I hope it's 6v6, man. I think regardless of where you stand on preference, the game needs shakeups. And like, for example, I'd be okay with them doing 5. Like, it would be cool if they made the pro format 6v6 open queue or 6v6 roll queue for, an extended period of time, and they wanted to go back, they're free to do that as well at some point. That's totally fine by me. But I think that would be the best shakeup they could do. I think all of the excuses around 6v6 somehow being a horrible idea or it not working or, I'm a little too, or sorry, not me. People are a little too Andrew Tatey if they like 6v6, right? I think that narrative is kind of gone now after Rivals got the success that it did. Like clearly there's something there. Clearly, this game won game of the year for a reason. And getting back to that core gameplay loop of, the core game and what made it great, I think would be the best thing for Overwatch. I think the perks are a great addition. Like really, that's kind of that was the first time they added something to the game, like the core game, like the core of Overwatch since, like 2020 it felt like. And I know you could say map types, you could say whatever, but to me, like perks changed how certain characters fundamentally can operate. Like that was the depth that they added to the game, not more deathmatchy, but we're removing a player or something like that. Like regardless of where you play, it's more knobs a turn. I understand why some people might not like it. I think where it's really gone wrong is I hated this season's patch where they only balance perks and they
Yeah.
didn't think to change damage or stuff like that. Like you can't just do one. I'm glad they have more knobs a turn, but there needs to be more than that. But I think that team ups and hopefully 6v6 comes back in some capacity, but we'll see what they
I
do.
want
I'd
it.
love a real format change.
I don't. So I want it. It'd be great if it was 6v6, but I don't want you guys to get too hyped up thinking it is, because I remember in season 15 when they hyped up. Well, we didn't know what it was at the time, but they were hyping up some big change, and it turned out to be perks. Like that.
Yeah.
Before that, they were like doing all those 6v6 play tests where they had like all those different versions, like roll queue, open queue, and like kingmaker or some bullshit. They had like 4 different modes they tried out. Um, and everybody was kind of thinking the big thing they would announce was 6v6, and I felt like that was a perfect time to kind of do it and try it and make it like more of a big deal. But now it's like I really don't know if they care at all about 6v6. You can tell with how they balanced it; they don't really care. It would be obviously, like, I know it would be great if they changed it to 6v6, but I just don't see them taking that step, and I think team ups is just more of a like logical, like, what are they going to do? It's probably gonna be team ups, right? Because they're testing out this like
Yeah.
masquerade stuff, like, and that's how it was in season 15. Like people were saying, oh, it's probably gonna be perks, and at the time I was like, oh, I hope it's not perks. Then they dropped perks, and it was like, perks are okay. I don't know if team ups are gonna be okay or not.
Yo, team ups
But
would be terrible, bro. I don't want to
yeah,
be like the devil's advocate kind of guy on the stream. I mean, I think it's too late for that. Team ups would be garbage. Imagine you're playing a ranked game and like, oh, like if Reaper and Zarya are on the same team, they do like 15% more damage. Then you don't have you don't have that team up
yeah, it would
because
probably
like
be
you have a
really
Genji one
bad.
trick. That would be terrible. That's just
Yeah, I think it shouldn't. Where Rivals really messed up is like team up anchors and getting damage and health for a team up. It like the only way I'd be okay with it are specific abilities themselves. But I will acknowledge I prefer perks over team ups like every time because that's in your control and like you still have the team aspect of the game, but you're not relying on your actual abilities and progressing your character based on a
Do the
team up.
guys creating the game know that it would be dog shit though, or were they just gonna
Yeah.
add it anyways?
They're probably
I
gonna
don't
add
know.
it. I can't see it being anything else. Blizzard isn't really known for being like revolutionary. Like they're not. I really can't imagine, like if they're the way they're hyping it up, like it's gonna change the game. I don't know what they would do that would be new. Blizzard
Yeah.
just copies things and tries to make it better. So more than likely, it's probably gonna be team ups or something that we've already had in the game. But I mean, I guess there's two perspectives from team ups. I think it probably will be dog shit. But I guess after playing the game for 10 years, at this point, I literally don't give a fuck what they do if it changes the game. Because, like, I don't think I'm getting bored of the game, but I don't know. This season just reminded me of, like, I need the game to change at least each season. If it's not
Yeah,
going
it
to be
was
team up or something new, there needs to be aggressive patches. Like, it needs to change the meta.
They were so
Something needs to
close
change.
last season too to like there were some
yeah,
low
but
hanging fruit on perks and characters they could have changed like small echo buff so that her copy perk actually comes before she builds copy, not after, which is the good perk. Like, Reaper getting nerfed more than some of the tanks. Like I feel like there were a lot of DPS that were close to being like really solid picks that they just kind of left behind this season. Like Sombra's perks feel really bad. I'm not saying she should be good, but I don't know, man. I was really disappointed by the patch this season, so I might be playing some Iron Fist this week. We'll see. Gotta lock the fist again, bro. Which is also miserable, but he's just so much fun, bro. I love the melee characters in Rival. What did you play when you played Rivals? Moon Knight?
Uh,
I saw you
fucking
play Moon Knight one
Namor.
game. Yeah, I was no more gel. Yeah.
You
Dude,
know,
Iron Fist was so fun. I'm telling you. You know who I queued into? I kid him
Yeah.
more. You remember Marshall? You were on a team
Yeah,
with
he
him,
plays
right?
a lot of Deadlock now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
does he?
yeah. Pyre, I want to ask you because you've been devil's advocate the whole podcast, which is fine. I think a podcast needs someone like you because
Thank you,
we
bro.
would
Thank
just
you.
be jerking each other off if you weren't
Yeah,
here.
thank you, bro.
But if you like Overwatch right now, and I like Overwatch too, but what if you had the keys and the wheel? What would you do then? Unless you think the game should stay the same right now forever. Like what would you change?
I'm gonna be so real with you, bro. That is a really bad question to ask me because I don't care what the game is, bro. I'm like low key, like really addicted, and I'm really like obsessive over the game. I don't care. It could be
That's fair.
77. I don't care. I'm gonna play the game. I'm gonna try to be the best at it. That's why I'm not like the most like passionate about the game balance. It is what it is, bro.
You
No,
you
but
played
think
the
I said that.
besides
I
the
NWL.
think I said that.
balance, fuck the
It,
balance. Like, would you want something new or you no?
okay, well, new is always good, but I think like when you're talking about earlier, like removing role lock and like, oh, now you can add a third DPS if one of them wants up. Like, yeah, that's new, but that sounds like cancer, dude. That like I don't know, that makes the game way too like too many. I don't know. It disrupts the balance of what we've been playing for so long now, and I think
What is
competitively
your
that'd be
do you
bad.
have any gripes with the game? What is your least favorite thing about Overwatch?
I I love Overwatch.
Durpee on your
Me
team,
too.
flaming your teammates.
I really wish people cared. I really wish the passion was still there, bro. Obviously you can't change that. Otherwise, like maybe you can, maybe.
Overtime. You got to believe. Lucio, voice of
Pyra,
the
I
you're welcome.
swear you acknowledge tank is so broken. I'll see your stream and you're like saying, "Oh, I just have like a Masters 3 player versus a GM3 tank, or like a GM3
Okay,
tank versus
bro,
a Champ
bro,
3 tank."
bro. Samito made this really good video. It was I watched the whole thing. It was like very recently. It was about how he had a tank that was like 5 ranks slower than the enemy tank, and like the game was just
I felt really bad for that guy. He apologized at the end of the game. I'm like, brother, it's not your fault.
right.
Like,
It's not his fault, right? Of course, right. That is obvious. Tank is very important. You can't win a game if you have a tank that's 5 ranks lower. You can't. Oh my gosh, I do have a gripe for the game. I really do actually. They made this like blog post how many years ago now, I don't know, and it was like the ranks of each role have to be equal, and that never happened. That just doesn't happen. Remember, they were like, if you were a champ 4 tank, they'll have to be against a tank that's also champ 4 or like very very close. That doesn't happen. You get like
Yeah.
roles that are, so the game matchmaking, that's a really really big issue because you cannot matchmake around.
well,
You
quick
can't win
shout
if the
out.
tank is
I
that much
think
lower.
Spilo messaged me after that video, and he said that apparently they do try to match off role deltas. I
Kappa.
think that guy was just a freshman, but it's the same problem because when you have a super tank and a guy that's been in diamond forever, and then he just abuses the meta tank of the season, Hazard, up to a bunch of ranks, and he finally gets put against Durpee on Rhine. Like that game is over for me at the load screen because like as a
Was that the game
DPS,
we're
I'm a
talking about,
pawn
that
on the
circuit
board.
game?
Yeah, the circuit. Do you remember that guy you played? You
Yeah.
just bodied him. It wasn't close. And I was just like, yeah, like, and I didn't even flame the
I
guy.
don't
Like, my
think
teammates were flaming each other. And I was like, guys, like, this is where I agree with Pirate. Like, there's just no point in flaming this guy. Like, he's just not going to learn. Like, he's like, there's nothing that, like, this is not his fault that he's here. Like, he hit an ELO threshold. He's GM3, Derpee's in Champ 5. Sure, it's an expected loss for us, but it's like, you just threw me an unwinnable game. Sorry, I got a donut. Hold on.
matchmaking would be so much better if they made the ranks between the roles broken because the roles are not equal. Then
I
That
don't
might
like
be
how
impossible
bad.
for high elo though. If you're really high
Yeah.
elo, like you're champ like 2, 3, or 1 or whatever, depending on when you're queuing, you might never
yeah,
get a
yeah,
rank.
no. If you're queuing at 3 a.m., it'd be pretty bad. But I don't think it'd be that bad. I don't think like
If
but
you're
at,
if you're saying like it needs to be perfect, like you can't queue if it's champ 3, there would have to be like a limit. Like champ 3 can only play like champ 5 or something like that. Like it would have to be multiple ranks. It could never be perfect.
yeah, I mean
Yeah.
yeah, I mean champ 3 champ 5 is a lot better
Yeah.
than champ
No,
3
you're right.
GM 3, which is what I get.
You're right.
Yeah, it's
I
fair.
don't like how bad they've made constellations feel lately. I don't know if it's like lately or anything, but I don't know. I just don't like. You can tell when the matchmaking is like really lazy, but then it's like, oh, you get constellation, you're only gonna lose 23 instead of 25, and it's like, oh, well, we had to sit in our spawn room for 15 minutes, but yeah, that's awesome. But like, yeah, I feel like I don't know if they've changed it recently to make it worse. I mean, those games have always existed, but yeah, I think they could definitely tighten up on matchmaking and not give you so many consolations. Because like when you get to the point where you're getting like 8 consolations in a row, which I've had happen to me like so many times lately, or like the opposite where I'm getting 8 expected, like yeah, I think
Okay,
matchmaking's
I
trash.
can't lie, bro. Maybe this is like selective bias, whatever it's called. I have never lost a game that is like not a reversal, bro. I don't know.
Well, it
Every
was
game that
broken. Remember, it was broken the start of this season as
yeah,
well.
yeah, yeah. Even like yesterday and the day before. I mean, maybe it depends on like what rank you're queuing. That's probably why. But
Okay.
I don't get constellations, bro. Maybe tank. Oh my gosh, maybe tank is different.
Maybe the
Maybe you're
tank
just
matchmaker
trash, bro, and
probably
you
has
need
to
to
be
win the
way
game to
It
more
make us
has to
win.
be
strict.
bad. The tank matchmaker has to be bad. It has to be broken. I actually believe it's broken.
And we're kind of talking about
It might
matchmaking and
be.
queuing. Samito, you mentioned open queue. I wanted to get this in. I think open queue would probably be good, and I didn't like when they announced 6v6 open queue. I wasn't hyped for it at all. I was kind of like disappointed because it's like I wanted to roll queue like we had in Overwatch 1. But then they did open queue and it wasn't really that bad. And I feel like there's a lot of like, you know, it's funny that I can swap from like whatever I'm playing on tank. I can just go Lucio if we need Lucio and it feels good. Or like you don't have to play 2 tanks the whole time. You have like real comps that can work without 2 tanks or without
Yeah.
2 whatever. But I think one thing they
Especially
need,
with bans getting the right heroes as well. I think particularly with bans. Sorry to
yeah,
cut
it,
you
it
Yeah.
did
off.
feel
You
good
go
with
ahead.
bans. I think one thing they need to try to do, you kind of talked about it, was like the preferred thing. Where like if I'm like I think okay, well 6v6 died because A, it's not the main mode, so all the like good players stopped caring about it because they need to practice for their matches and whatever. But also like I kind of noticed a big problem in 6v6 is so many times you'd get like 4 tanks on the same team. So like 2 people are just stuck off rolling, and then you're against a good player on DPS and you lose the game for free because they have a good player on DPS. You have like me on Torb, and it's just like
Let's
it
not
does
sell
feel kind
yourself
of
short,
bad,
buddy.
especially at high ranks. I mean, like maybe in like plat, it wouldn't be as big of an issue because you have so many players. But if you get into high rank
Well,
lobbies and there's like a time period where only tanks are on or something, I feel like open queue would feel like trash.
so Rivals does this, by the way. I'm not sure if you guys caught that in their dev blog. They actually do some kind of preferred role matchmaking where they will match you based on the hours on your profile. I'm not
Yeah.
sure to what degree, but it's
Deadlock's
literally
doing the
built
same
in.
thing.
Are they really?
Yeah, like no matter what, if 2 initiator players are on each game, I mean they try to. It's not perfect, obviously,
Yeah.
but if you have like it's basically the rivals thing as well. If you have a lot of hours on like the initiators, they're more than likely to get on the same team. So I think that would be the option for Overwatch is to have like a
It should
system.
be behind the scenes. It
Yeah,
Yeah,
should be
behind the
behind the scenes
scenes.
system.
Yeah,
yeah, I think it wouldn't be hard for them
And
to know what you play, and then
yeah, it
like
wouldn't
kind
be
of.
that
no,
hard.
it's not. And it's like, listen, like, are the queue times always going to be instant? No, but like they'd be better than what they are right now. And like I think there's a really a way to thread that needle. And what scares me the most, and this is why I say we have to go to open queue after all these years, because look, you have to acknowledge the results. I think the things that people were right about when warning us about roll lock were this: one, the queue times might actually be unsustainable. And apply, I agree with you. When they were doing 6v6, like you and I played in October 2020, that was downplayed for years. Like back then, the game was well received enough across each role where you didn't mind if you were off tanking on Zarya. Like the queue times on each role that season. The problem is, it's really hard to do that because now you have to not just balance the game to make each character fair, but you have to make sure each role is equally valuable. It's too hard to do because it's easy to, if you fuck up one role that season or tank gets fucked, for example, and nobody's queuing tank now, okay, well, the queue times go way up. So it changes how you have to literally design characters in the game. And to me, that's not worth the compromise because the
Yeah.
matchups and like the fundamental idea of it doesn't like if I play Zarya and you're on Ana, or what's a good support that people like to play that the Pirate likes to play, for example. I don't know. Pirate, what's your favorite support to play?
Alari.
Alari, and you're on Alari, like that matchup could go either way. Who knows? But now, if I end up in that matchup now because of roll lock, like I think 5v5 might still be a better option for duels in open queue. My biggest gripe that I've learned is just the super tanks ruin the game. Like it just making the tank so strong that a DPS can never win a duel against it is just literally game breaking in my opinion. To my role, because I'm a DPS player. That's my bias. That's my prerogative. Like I play the other roles, but I guess it's true for each role as well. So maybe it's not just a DPS player thing. I think DPS got hit the hardest by it though. Um, so yeah, I think OpenQ does a better job of capturing a truly fair game, and queue times are better too. And you get to flex across the map or across the match and play what you need to play. Um, I know there's the horror stories of these gold players complaining about all these people, but again, the matchmaker should alleviate this. And frankly, the margin for error generally is pretty high. The lower you are in the ranks, so you have you have more opportunity to play out of it. Though I won't say it's perfect, but to me, having every matchup be skewed is far worse than having the occasional open queue game where you get freaking Jim Bob 72 or Hobo Slayer running around and trolling on quad DPS with. You remember the Overwatch short supply? You remember those back in the day? The animated shorts that's really funny, like that lobby.
Yeah.
And they happen, but I would rather take that than what we ended up with in Rollock.
Yeah, I also think individual heroes fucked this over, and I think we saw this first problem with Brig, where there was like top 10 Brig players, but if they played any other role in support, they were like bronze. So that skewed the matchups a little bit. Like, and I think it's kind of on Blizzard for making some characters super easy and other characters very difficult. But obviously there should be entry level characters, maybe not to the extent that it is right now. But yeah, I mean, you can get to a really high rank on one character. If that character's banned or not good anymore, you're now ruining the entire lobby. Like that was very common for the beginning of Brig because players were getting into top 10. And
Do you
then
think it's better now than it used to be?
I feel like that still happens a lot, specifically in support with Juno and Wuying.
Yeah.
I've noticed where like they're just suddenly up
probably
20 ranks.
Yeah, probably not on DPS, but yeah, like on support a lot. I think so.
I mean, when they make an
What
easy
about
hero
tank?
good, like, bro.
Yeah.
I think every game needs entry characters. I just think that they should not impact the game as much as the others. But that's pretty biased because then what do they do?
Hey, Mercy players, this guy right here. It's Peely. He's coming for
Welcome.
you. yeah,
Welcome.
wait,
My-
put the mask on. Put the
My
mask on.
take on Mercy's always been make her gun better and then call it a day.
They need
Let
nerf res,
them
bro. I'll play like DPS and Diamond and like tank gets rezzed. Like how can you res a tank and then he comes back at full health, by the way? You know how hard I worked to kill that guy and then he just comes back? It's unbelievable.
Oh, man, careful. You guys, hey, listen. Just don't insult K-pop and you guys are fine. I've done that on Group Up before.
But bro, they could never rework Mercy because there are too many players that would freak out if they
Oh
did.
yeah, no, they can't.
Dude, they
Mercy
would
does not belong. Mercy is the most fake. Like,
Yeah.
Do you guys
she
want an
doesn't-
OG Jeff Kaplan quote from the creator Discord? I'll tell you guys. Do you want to
Love
know
it.
the Jeff Kaplan
Yeah,
quote
that's
about
what
the
it-
Mercy players? He said that something along the lines of the Mercy community. It's a very special community, so we try to be very careful when we adjust it.
I mean,
geeked
I
out
mean,
at
they
that.
know it. They have to know.
obviously.
Oh my God. I'll tell you what, dude. Listen, if they want to get the US government back open, they just got to disable Mercy and say the government can't reopen until or Mercy won't be
figure it
back
out.
until the
They'll
government
figure it
reopens and the
out.
Mercy mains will be there and that shit will be back on in like a day. They will not play around. They'll be out there Taylor Swift dancing and shit. I respect it. Listen, Shake It Off, man. It's a good song. It's a good song. I like Taylor Swift. She's cool, man. Durpee, you had me on. You knew this was going to happen.
No, bro, this is perfect. Dude. Does anybody have like anything they want to talk about on the podcast? Because we kind of like discussed all these bullet points. I know we're kind of 2 hours in as well, so if you guys want to jump off, that's fine too. But
We've been 2 hours
any-
already. My
yeah.
fault.
I'm
Yeah.
chilling.
But if
My
anybody
bad.
wants to like something they want to bring up right now is the perfect time. I mean, I got all day, so whatever.
There was something I wanted to talk.
I guess it's
So-
not really a topic, but like a question. Like, are we expecting? What are we expecting from the new hero? What are the odds that there's a block on the character? That
Is
he's
it
gonna
going to be a
block
tank? We
ability?
don't even know. Karki was like
What
leaked
is
video
it?
saying it was a DPS.
Wait, really? Oh, I didn't know
There was
that.
like
I
some
thought-
like leaked Karki thing of him saying it was a damage hero. I don't know when that
I
was,
thought
if
it
it
was
was
a tank,
fake or if he messed
I
up.
might be
but
bugging.
I thought it'd be a tank. It makes sense, but I mean, the signs are that it's a DPS from like what's been
Oh,
kind
shit.
of leaked and like, I don't know. We don't have any information, but I think it's like 50-50. It could be a tank. It could be a DPS, but yeah, I don't know how they're gonna design a new tank. They can't do that.
They need to make like a power creeped Reinhardt.
That's where
like,
Mod
make a
Jab,
Reinhardt
no?
that
I
can,
agree
like-
with that. Wu Yong's a power creep Zenyatta.
Well, Okay, I mean, I guess it's kind of a macho, you right? But like maybe one that can fly a
melee
little bit.
hero that can like fly. Yeah, that would be fun. I hope they do that, but it's probably gonna be. I don't know.
Man, I'm nervous for melee heroes because every time Blizzard tries to make a close range character, it has the exact same ability that Doomfist and Venture have, where when they use abilities, they just get shields. So I have a feeling that it's just going to be
It's the same in
a
Rivals,
similar
too.
thing.
I
Yeah,
think Dude, what makes Rivals so fun to me, the melee characters make that game for me. It's not the shooter characters. Like playing melee characters in Rivals just hits fucking different, boys. It is so much fucking fun. Overwatch, it's just not the same like that. So I hope they kind of like they have like some characters have melees in their kit, but I think as well as the fact the game is first person, it's just so much harder to do melee characters. And honestly, Blizzard's not done a great job of melee characters, in my opinion.
Oh
Outside
my
of
gosh.
tank.
Bro, you know the bandit in Clash Royale? You know the bandit, the one where she goes
I know that one.
like dash on people and then bro, they should make that the new hero should be that. It's like melee, but you can onto the people and like have high
It's
mobility.
like
That's
Genji.
like power character.
No? Am I trolling?
No,
Well, Genji's not Genji's not
Are
melee.
you talking
Well,
about
but he
like
gets a lot
hooking
of
onto
good
them,
value
like
on-
you get
No.
mobility?
Well, it's like a dash, like bro, you have to bandit in Clash Royale. You know, you know, it's like that'd be like melee, but like you could. How do you ever play Clash Royale?
Bro,
Bro,
I'm old, bro. I'm old. Like I
You
don't
had-
know. I don't have time to play all this shit.
Okay, well those who know, bro, that would be such
I
a good
know.
idea for hero there. That'd be a good idea for hero.
That could be good. I don't think they should force melee character. Like Overwatch is what makes it unique is and what makes it the best. It's got the best like actual shooter game engine of any game that I played. And like frankly, I think they missed the mark on Venture. We are now 2 years. How long into that character? I don't even know. And the screen lock is still on the drill. That is the reason why I don't play the character. My favorite thing about Doomfist, and I think Apply will say this too, is like, you know how you could like turn out of a punch?
Yeah.
Like you can move your camera. Venture, you're locked straight forward with your drill.
They fucked that
I
up with
hate
Genji in Overwatch 2 as well.
Did they?
Dashing and 180 and turning in Overwatch 1 was way smoother. Now after dash, you're like stuck for a second, but that was never a thing in Overwatch 1. I don't really know why they did that, but I swear no one talks about
New
that.
engine.
That's one of the worst things that they've done. It's
a new
so
engine.
much uglier.
Yeah, it's. I wish they would. Maybe they can't. Maybe they can't because of how like movement is made in the new engine. I wonder. Because that's such low hanging fruit. You'd think, right? Like to not be
Yeah.
locked in place with that stuff. I don't know. I wonder if someone can ask, but they wouldn't answer it. There's no way they'd answer it. There was like a big. I think hot take, boys. I think a big. I don't want to say cover up from like 6v6. Like I don't know really, but like that engine was not ready and people knew about it. And that was the reason why they didn't address it. And like I think creators knew about it too because they said, you guys know how we got like gas. Apply, did you go to that creator summit? No, you said you didn't, right? Were you at that creator summit?
Nah, I never
Literally-
did any of those.
Literally after the event, like, and everyone's acting like, oh, we don't know why. And it's not the creators' fault because they were like, it is not on the creators to say this stuff. Hot take. Like creators who just report on stuff that Blizzard's doing and they're going there to essentially report on it. Like you are not obligated to have a stance. You're not. You have no obligation to pick a side or do whatever. Like you can just be like, listen, I'm here to vibe. Like a pirate said, like I'm just here to do what I can with what I've got. I'm going to play the deck that I was given and I'm just here. And I think there's a notion that creators are like liable or wrong for having that. And I disagree with that. Like I think that people can be neutral on this stuff, but dude, there was somebody that came out. I think it was literally Bro You Whack in his video. He's like, yeah, they told us why they weren't going to go back to 6v6. Like they said the engine wasn't ready. And that lines up with a couple TikToks that I saw from my buddies. And I was like, boys, y'all better not, do not make me come out here and say that you guys knew. I know everybody knew. It's not their place to say it because Flats was right when he said, dude, this puts the content creators in a really bad spot. Because like clearly everybody's talking about this. Like we should not be the ones having to tell everybody else. And I don't think that we were meant it to become like that big of a thing. I just want the game I fell in love with back to the point where so many other people wanted it where they left to fucking the chum bucket across the street made by a Chinese mobile game company. And we can't get it back on Overwatch. You know, I think there was a lot of people who wanted that too, but yeah, man, like the engine was definitely not ready. And I am surprised. That's Overwatch 2 though. They made a whole new engine because of Overwatch 2 and they couldn't remake. You guys know the whole game was remade from scratch, right?
Yeah.
Ranked,
Yeah.
everything.
Oh, Samito, you have a special talent, bro. We could be talking about astrophysics and you'll bring in 6v6. I don't know how you do it, bro.
It's like the I'm
It's
like
like
Charlie
a
from the
fucking
Hallway Stunner.
superpower.
That was just it was the big drama. It was my fault. I do.
No,
It's
no,
just
I'm fucking with you.
It's
You're
my
right, though.
quirk, bro. It's my
Everything
quirk.
you said was right, though.
I know. That's the problem. That's the problem. But if, you know,
Bro,
you get,
bro, Samito, back in the day, like in Overwatch 1, bro, I would see TikTok after TikTok. Okay, not TikTok. It was Twitter. It was like, you know, it looks like TikTok of you complaining about Baptiste and like Lamp. And I will get me angry because I was a bad player, and I'm like, bro, this guy, bro.
He's OP.
It,
Listen,
bro,
I will say, once they made dragons break lamp, I think that's fair. But that shit
Wow.
broke Overwatch.
No way.
No, it's fair because
Bro,
dragons.
we
can
know
That-
how lucky
wow.
we were with Lamp before Kiriko. Like,
No, I know, that's
Kiriko's
what I know.
much
I feel like it
fucking
just
I know.
scales. You get so many
Actually-
more broken things, and now it's like lamp
Yeah.
is trash.
You guys want
Yeah.
another funny story? I'll
Yeah.
give you another one.
Yes.
When they showed Kiriko to the content creators, right? I was the only person to say, "Hey, do you guys think that Suzu looks a little OP?" And you want to know what I was told by the head community manager at the time? This is launch Suzu, by the way. I was told it's actually okay because you have to time it.
Dude,
And I was like, "Thanks."
dude,
guys."
I was watching those guys
Yeah.
play the Halloween Masquerade thing on stream yesterday. It is so funny. That's like the first time we've gotten like to see developer gameplay. I feel like nobody really took that for granted. Like you got
True.
to see developer gameplay
Yeah.
on the. Dude,
Yeah.
I
It's
would
cool.
watch the Ramatra guy play Ramatra. He didn't use block once, and it just like I knew they don't do that. You can tell they don't do that. There's so many things they don't
So they
even
never
know
think
exist
about it,
on the
yeah.
game. Like I think somebody said.
Yeah.
I think somebody said they try to nano their like Junkrat's rip tire. Like they're like, wait, you
Well,
can't nano rip tire? Like a developer
This is
working on the game.
actually-
They say these things on the
It's
public
actually so funny
broadcast.
that you mentioned this in the Overwatch 2 trailer, the first Overwatch 2 trailer.
Yeah,
There's
I
a
know.
Torbjorn player hammering his turret, but you couldn't hammer your turrets like, at the end of Overwatch 1 or like literally it's on New Queen Street is a Torbjorn like the
And then
fake
the
dev
Rhine
or whatever
shatters air.
yeah, and the Ryan shadow literally like they you're right, like they don't understand a lot of the problems because they just don't use half the abilities.
Bro, do they not have like really high ranked
Well,
players
it's not their
employed? or
job
what?
either, though. And again, to be
No.
fair, like a developer, like their job is to code, right? They have game and level
Yeah.
designers to do the other stuff. But I get your point too, where it's just like, dude, the people in these
Yeah.
playtests.
Do they
Hog
have
lost his
people that like
mind at
play the
that in
game that
our-
are good
Apparently,
though?
I've talked to Custa. A
Shit.
lot of his job is like just obviously he's working on perks a lot, but I think he is like a voice of reason in a lot of things, which they haven't had in the past. Because like Samito said, a lot of them are just genuine like coders. Like they're just good
Yeah.
at coding. They're good at implementing things into the game, and they haven't really had like a voice of reason to be like, maybe that's not fucking good. So I think
Bro,
I think since Custa's been working there, things have been a little bit better.
They
I
do
think
look
perks were
better.
good.
why would
They
the
were.
coders make the balance on the game?
Tell that.
They
Don't
make
tell that
the
to
UI
I
Reddit,
just
make
bro.
don't
They'll
think
get
they have
mad.
people like yeah, maybe they got Custa, but like Custa doesn't even play anymore. Let's be
No,
honest.
you're right.
Like who do they
I don't know,
really
like,
got
you
up
like
there that's
Scotty,
like
but-
telling
Okay,
them
and
about
listen.
these things?
Listen,
But let's be honest though, like I don't think any of us would know how to make the game better anyways. Like obviously we have things like yeah, Suzu sucks and
Small
Ramblock
stuff.
sucks.
Okay, but like look at the patch they just dropped.
What?
Like we all know they should have nerfed Zarya. Like that's a great example.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
they
but
didn't
like
do
that's
that.
you're
that's
right.
it's tough because like you nerf one take and another one pops up in that
Yeah.
problem. So it's
Oh
hard.
yeah,
Like,
no, it's always gonna repeat.
I
But like
respect-
Zarya's been good for.
I think it's irrefutable. And like, listen, Custis had his opinions about me, but I'm unbiased about myself. I wish the dude the best. Like, I have no problem with anybody. Like, objectively, him working there has been better. We've always said for years that they need somebody, whether it was, whether it's Custa, whether it's Hawk, whether it's Apply, just anybody to sit there and talk to them like, hey, like, this is how this actually functions in the game. And there's a reason why the first update they ever did that everybody wanted to hate on it. They did. I saw a lot of tweets. I saw Will's tweet where he was like, fuck perks and perks, and then everyone jumped on his shit. And then he
Yeah,
was,
yeah.
it was so funny.
I fucking love perks.
I think
it
they're
was
awesome,
really good.
man. It's a great direction, and I don't think it's a coincidence that they started to bring people like Spylo and Custa or
Yeah.
whoever right around more, and you start to see results in the game. I think that like, it's just that little bit of seasoning that the dish needs that made it good. So I actually like that. I think
I
that they should
think-
get more people.
One of my least favorite things about Blizzard, and they've always done this, is their obsession with drip feeding us content. Like they like for example, I remember in the beginning of this year, or maybe like 6 months ago, they had like the whole like lineup for the year, and it was like hero bands, and then perks, and then the hero whatever. Like I feel like if they had all of this planned, I think they should focus on making the game better rather than giving us one thing per season. Like if they had a plan to do perks and hero bands, why not just do it like all at once? It doesn't make sense that they literally drip feed the content like one by one every season. And I think that this season is a perfect example because I don't know what the fuck we got.
I was bad. It was the patch was just. I think if the patch was better, like I thought the perk changes were lame too. Like the perks were fun. That's the point of them. Like they're supposed to be fun. That was the most fun I've had in an Overwatch season. Just because I could spam my TP as Reaper, even if I'm trolling.
Yeah.
It was just fun to do.
I also don't
Yeah.
even need anything new. Like, I'm not saying we need a new hero and a new map every season, but I remember a quote at the beginning of Overwatch 2 or at some point from a Blizzard dev was that they want every season to feel very unique. And I feel like if that's the case, they need to be more aggressive for each season with nerfs and changes. Like, if you read through this patch notes, like I remember in OWCS, like 2 weeks ago or right before the season started, like the interview question for the winning team was like, what teams do you think are going to be really affected by the patch? Like, what teams do you think are going to really have to change things up? And a lot of them were like, I don't know, like we'll see. Like this team might be bad, that team might be bad, but nothing changed. But like no team was affected by the patch because the game wasn't affected by the patch.
Yeah, and I think it all falls down to like Stadium and I forgot what I was gonna say, but like I think they did a good
I
job at
mean,
the
they
start of
balanced perks
Overwatch
because
2. They did a good job.
if they bounced the main game, Stadium would have gotten messed up, right?
Well, no, but like I think they did a good job at the start of Overwatch 2 where like they did a new hero, a new map. They alternated between seasons. I was gonna say perks. Then they dropped perks and they dropped Stadium, so now it's like they have to focus on more things. And now like their aggressive change is like yeah, it's going more towards Stadium. And then they feel like making these perk changes doesn't really do anything. But like before you had Stadium, before you had perks, and it was just the game. I think they did do a good job aggressively balancing the game. But now we're 3 years later and they had all this new stuff. And they're just focused on so many different things. Maybe they're not able to do that, but I think if like you're gonna do like if they did a patch like the one at the start of the season where it was like they at the top of the patch before even like getting any heroes, it's saying like this is a perk related balance patch, blah blah blah. I think that's okay, but you have to do what you did like a couple seasons ago, like where Samito was talking about, where they changed every hero's perks, they added a new one, but now it's like only some heroes got changed, and it's not even like a new perk most of the time. It's just like the bad perk got kind of buffed, but it's still the worst perk. So you can't even tell. Like if they want to do these perk things, I feel like you have to remove the bad ones, add a new one, like make the game feel different. Because when their whole balance patch was just adding some new perks, like that did make the game feel different. Everybody logged on, they were trying out the new perks. They're like saying, is this better than the old ones? And like perks make heroes different, like we kind of already talked about. So if they want to do that, it's fine. They just need to like actually make
Well,
changes.
here's the big thing too, Durpee, to add on to that. The reason why I like perks so much is that it's much easier to like you can spice up the game way faster without having to do a large amounts of content.
Yeah.
Because a perk is simply an ability. And if you ask me, and maybe I don't know, but at least like if I was doing stuff with like the Mindflex Clans team, right? You can cycle and make abilities way faster than you can make characters, right? Because there's models, there's artists, there's release schedules to plan around. Like it is much more simple and fast to make a new perk or ability than it is to make like a massive new character. So they have the ability to like just, swap things out way more. And even this patch being, I thought it was lame. It was only a perks patch, but even the changes they made to the perks, like overall, weren't crazy. And I think that you can do something nutty with perks each season that's fun and spicy without breaking the game. But like I feel like this one was more reining things in that were fun rather than and without addressing like Tracer's correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I feel like Tracer's just the best ranked DPS in the game. By far. Like she does so much. Maybe like I don't know, Freya is also pretty good in a lot of my lobbies too, I guess. But I'm also in like mid GM, low champ at peak, so I'm not sure what everybody else is playing. But like to me, it didn't feel like they changed the core of what was good. Like little slaps on the wrist and fuck manga.
Yeah.
You said Tracer is
It feels like it. It feels like in my games. Like if you don't like if
nah.
if Tracer's not banned and I'm not marking her all game, like my backline's permadead.
No, I mean I agree, but I've had this take for characters like flankers, like Genji Tracers. I think the more difficult characters to master should always be the stronger characters. Like that. We also talked about how people get boosted from playing like Brig or something like that. And I would have no problem with Tracer being OP. I really don't.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think people
I
complain
think
about
that I think
Tracer.
that more DPS. Sorry, I think they should have brought more DPS up to be a little bit more competitive. Not like hard buff them, but like at least some of the perks. Like, I think there's a lot of low hanging perks or low hanging fruit with perks that they kind of missed that I wish they could have brought up to speed. Like to me, Echo's perk, her copy perk one, which gives her 50% more on dupe, should not be built after the ult, right? Like you can't get that perk before your first ult. And so, like, I just think that's bad. Man, I said that somebody was trying to force Echo last season, but maybe that's just me being a dumbass.
Okay, because we're complaining about perks, but I have to say, not to be on like Team Durpee or anything, but when perks first came out, I was like, okay, they have this really golden opportunity to make the heroes that weren't power crept. Like, Reinhardt is like a 2015 hero. Like, he needs something
Yeah.
more. I thought perks
You
would
know
be
what he
like
needs,
give him some
Pirate? You know what Reinhardt needs?
attack speed increase, bro.
Another
Okay.
tank.
No, do you know what they should do with Ryan?
I mean-
I've said it every podcast. All they need to do is like give him some mobility that makes him close distance. It could be speed boost, it could be vertical mobility, and then you can nerf his shield and his sustain because like nobody wants to play against Ryan. It's not fun. It's 5v5. He like lives infinitely on a corner. You fix that by nerfing his armor, nerfing his shield health, and then like giving him a perk that allows him to do more things. So there you have more skill expression on the hero. It's more fun to play, but also it's not super oppressive, especially in low ranks where like anybody could just go Ryan and play on a corner and AFK the game and like get values. They should do stuff like that versus like adding whatever the fuck they've added. I'm sorry, Shield Bash has been bugged since they've released perks. I'm sorry. The attack speed perk is really awesome when I'm
It's
using
really
it on a
bad. It's
Pharah
really
or an
bad.
Echo or any character in the game because they're not going to sit in
Yes.
front of me because they have a brain and I'm above diamond.
Yeah.
And then what do you have with the other perks? It's like you pin to get your shield back. Yeah, I'm gonna pin into 5 players to get my shield back. That's smart. And then the other one's like I get a fire strike when I use Earth Shatter. There you go. Those are the
I mean,
Ryan perks.
they're really bad. I can't get about that anymore.
And then like,
That's actually
it's-
insane.
yeah, like why do the really good heroes get pretty
Yeah,
good perks and the bad heroes are just like whatever, shield bash
Yeah.
and it's bugged. There you go. Yeah, I agree. Thanks
It's
for
like
being on my
Loki
side.
kind of the same for Bat, bro. Like, not as bad, but
Yeah,
Baptiste is also like has to compete with Kiriko, and bro,
yeah.
he can like
Kiri-
shoot faster.
Hot take. I think Kiri's like the best overall support they put in the game ever. She's
What do
so
you mean?
good.
In what way? Like OP
She's
or
just
like
she's
design?
just so flexible and consistent in like so many situations. Like she can
Bro.
just do so much.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
not saying you should nerf
we
her. I
know
just
that,
think
yeah.
overall she just
They should
does
nerf her.
so much.
There's,
I love
I actually
Kiriko.
like Kiri.
Bro.
there's no comp that she's not good with. Like you
Yeah.
can play her in every single comp, against every comp, with every comp. They gotta do something.
Do you not agree though that she's the type of is she not like the tracer of the support role?
No, she is for sure.
If Suzu was harder to use, maybe.
Okay, sure.
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Well, but this is for support. That's not to blame supports, but like I feel like supports in general have a little bit lower of a floor than some of the other roles in the game. I think support's easier to get direct value on than some of the other roles in the game.
Yeah, I just don't like she has like no fall off, like not fall off damage, but like there's nothing negative about her. Like she does really high damage, she has good healing, good ult, good movement, good utility. I guess the only thing you can say is like, yeah, she's 225 HP, but that doesn't matter when
She's
you have
skinny.
Suzu and
She's one of
TPs.
2 characters with
Yeah.
a small hitbox. Apparently there was a leak from like devs. Like each hitbox is categorized by a size, and the only 2 small ones in the game were Tracer and Kiriko.
What about Baby
So I
Diva?
don't know.
Okay, surely
all right,
Baby Diva
Durpee.
counts.
Okay,
That
baby,
hero's
sure,
broken.
Baby Diva, sure, Baby Diva, sure.
Okay,
Okay,
cool.
I'm getting cooked by some Mercy players right now. Oh God, my bad.
You fucked
K-pop's
up, bro.
awesome. K-pop's awesome. We love K-pop. K-pop's good actually. I listened to a couple songs. It actually was good. I see where the hype comes. It's not my thing, but like I see why people get down. I see the vision. Okay, Durpee, what else we got, man? What anything else on the agenda we want to talk about?
I got no points left unless somebody wants to bring something up.
Well,
We talked about how Doctor Strange currently fits in the meta of season 3 of Marvel Rival, bro.
Dude,
I
I
haven't
love
played it.
Doctor
I'm gonna-
Strange, dude. That's the perfect combination of Ryan and Sig. If I were to play Marvel Rivals, I'd be the best Doctor
Oh
Strange
my
of the game.
gosh.
It's unbelievable.
Dude. So did I tell you guys I queued into IRP?
Yeah, he plays Marvel Rivals.
Dude, he's a rocket one trick. I renamed my alt to LFT IRP _ HK, and people were tweeting at him like trying to get him, and he was like, "That's not me." I was like, "I'm LARPing as IRP now. That's what we're
So
doing."
Samito, what game do you like more?
It's tough, man. Like I like them both for different reasons. I should like Overwatch more. Like I like peak. I like
Don't
6v6
don't give me your
Overwatch
PR
more.
answer, bro. What game releases dopamine more in your head when you play it?
When God, fuck, I'd have to think about it.
For me, Rivals just made me like Overwatch more. I get on
It made me appreciate Overwatch's engine a lot. Go
yeah,
ahead, sorry.
I get on Rivals and I just feel like I'm walking in mud. Like everything's so laggy. You can't move your character's hips. You like float around. It's like it kind of feels like Smite. I don't know if you ever played Smite, but that game feels like Smite to me, just faster. Like I think Overwatch has its problems, but bro, the Overwatch engine is just fucking good.
No, it's so much better. Competitively, Overwatch for sure, not even close. Like the reason why I like Rivals so much is like they're telling the story. Like really, Iron Fist. Like Iron Fist, they had unique characters that hit, and where what Overwatch 2 lost was like the DPS Doom style of play, and I could find that from melee characters and rivals. The gameplay loop I thought was more interesting. I was really hoping they'd nerf support ults. Peak Overwatch is better though. It's not. I mean, I don't think it's a conversation. Like peak Overwatch is undoubtedly better, and it should be better because the netcode and the engine of this game are it's so much better than any shooter in any category I've ever played. Like that's why I've wanted them to make a BR for years. If they made a BR in this engine, it would go fucking crazy. Like forget Battlefield, forget COD, dude. Like these kids would not. It would blow their mind just how responsive this engine is to feeling it. So like I like the big moments in Overwatch better. It's just harder to find those nowadays because I really just don't like the format change of the game. But if you were to put them on equal pedestals and say like I got the format I wanted in Overwatch and the format I got in Rivals, I would choose Overwatch because there's more to it than that. What I love about Rivals are the melee characters, and that's just a smaller piece of the puzzle in a hero shooter.
Yeah. Besides the engine being shit and the game feeling like shit to play in the low FPS, I think my biggest problem with Rivals is that I think there's zero individual skill expression. Like I don't know how. I think 10. Imagine we're 5 years into Rivals. I don't know. Is there ever going to be like a GOAT or a really good player? Like I think they're all the fucking same. I think
Race
every
to the
player in
face.
Rivals to me, look. Yeah, I guess. Bro.
Yeah, so much on
But like
go-to.
I feel like they all look the exact fucking same to me. I mean, obviously I don't play the game a lot, so I can't really tell. But
If they
it feels
rained
like.
ults in, it would be different. But
Oh
like, there's
yeah,
so
that's
much
also a
power
good
on
thing. Yeah.
ults. There's so much power on ults that like I like, and I was just on the Clear Comms pod with Coach Mills and Captain Coach like a week or two ago. People were mad at me because they're saying you just want to nerf support ults. So I said no, I don't just want to nerf support ults. I want every ult in the game to have its build rate increased and its duration cut by 30 or 40%, including the DPS ults. Take Iron Fist and Punisher ult down to like 6-7 seconds, but every support ult on the like you can't have Cloak and Dagger ult last 13-14 seconds. You can't.
Yeah, but
It's
sadly,
can't.
I don't think any of your guys' complaints in the Rivals community are gonna matter.
It won't. And I'm one of the
Yeah,
few people calling for that too, which is crazy. Some people like it because it's like that. That's why I say it's the casual game. It's the game for the guy to hop back on his Xbox when he gets home and log on and play fucking, Black Panther or Iron Fist or Cloak and Dagger. That's the type. It was like a much more Call of Duty casual gamer. You could tell too, like the amount of kids I saw in high rank on controller. Who did we see in Overwatch? Joystick, and that was it for like 6 years. It was just joystick and like hopeful. There are two players. I can't go a game without a Cloak and Dagger or a Rocket playing on controller, and I hear their open mic on, and they got their Taco Bell order coming in, and I'm like, "Yo, bro, can you ult here?" "Oh no, you don't know how to ult all this shit." I'm like, all right,
He's got a
whatever, you
house
lose the
plant
game.
in the way of that part of the screen, bro. He doesn't know that he's supposed
yeah.
to use his ult.
Yeah.
He's laying down and
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah,
No.
so look, right. They're good for they're different games. They're similar, but they're different. And I think for the type of gamer that I am, I prefer peak Overwatch for sure. Especially with perks. It's just I didn't see Overwatch adding anything that I was gonna like. Like, listen, like how many years am I gonna wait for y'all to do something I like? And it turns out perks was the first one. I'm glad they did it. I hope Overwatch continues to get as good as it can because it'll make rivals better. We need these companies to start ego checking each other.
Yeah, I think
That's what's gonna be good
if
for
I
us.
was Blizzard right now, my main goal would be to try to get Rivals players to understand why Overwatch is so much better. Like literally just
They
do
can.
one patch, something to get them to at least try Overwatch. Because my take is like if someone who's obsessed with Marvel Rivals right now, like and plays on PC and tries Overwatch, I don't know why they would want to go play Rivals unless they just like being brain dead. Like I that's why also like it ties back to us talking about like how they always sponsor like just the big streamers. I think they just
That's
need to
why.
find a way to try and get people to try Overwatch again. Because I'm telling you, like after playing Rivals for like 2 or 3 months, going back to Overwatch, it was I don't even know.
It felt good. It
It
felt
feels
good,
very
dude.
good.
You
Yeah.
know
It
another thing
felt like,
about...
you know what it felt like?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I
No,
play
you go,
Rivals. Yeah, okay, I haven't played it since like what they released. Probably like it's been like 8 months. But I play Rivals. The rank system is so dog shit, and I don't know. Overwatch, the rank system is so good. Like it's so addicting. In Overwatch 1, it was addicting. Overwatch 2 was addicting. I mean, it didn't really change the rank system between Overwatch 1 and Overwatch 2. But like,
Oh,
I
they
play
did though. They
Rivals, and it's
did. The
like,
first one was horrible. The first iteration was so bad.
I mean, like in
redid
between
it
the
better.
two games of Overwatch 1 and Overwatch 2, they didn't really like.
They
What do you
rebuilt
mean?
the whole system.
Oh, are you talking about Rival, or what are you talking about?
I'm talking about Overwatch. Like
Oh, the card
Overwatch 2 rank
system.
system.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
trash, but it was still better than
yeah.
Rivals.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we don't
now,
forget
yeah.
the card system. We can forget about that, but I think the like main rank system while thinking about it, you play Rivals like you're forced to like win and go up rank. It felt like so it was like even if I lost 3 in a row, then I won a game, and it's like okay, that one game I won made up for the 3 I lost. I'm sure they've changed it. Have they changed it? I don't know, but
They're going to, but it was a mobile game system because it was a
yeah,
mobile game company. That was their rank system is mobile game 101. Like I have gone down the rabbit hole of gotcha games last year. I've been grinding Raid Shadow Legends. Not even fucking joking. My clan is an elite clan. I'll be taking on oil barons every fucking day. I'm not even joking with you guys. I'm in this shit, right? Like their rank system is the most textbook engagement farm mobile game. Like it's so like the more you play, the more you rank up. Like everybody starts down here and you rank up. Like they're not used to this,
But
and this is where applies
my
right.
question
Blizzard can
is
do better.
Smito, you said that like you think that Rivals has like lasting power. Is that true though? If that's your take about Rivals, how does that game last for 5+ years if the game is
They've got to make
designed like a fucking mobile
yeah.
game?
Listen, mobile games in general are massive. They're way
That's
bigger,
true, I
but
guess.
their markets like again they do so well on especially the American console market. Like I think that it's not going to matter because like for high end PC players looking for the steakhouse, like they're both hero shooters, both food. Overwatch is a steakhouse. And Rivals is McDonald's. I love McDonald's and I love steakhouse. I could eat a big. I could eat. I might. You know what? I might order a double quarter pounder
It's
right
like
now.
it's like
But
McDonald's versus Steakhouse. If the Steakhouse had terrible marketing, like I feel like
yeah,
I think for me right now, like
go ahead,
because
Byron.
Pirate mentioned a bunch of times that Overwatch is good right now. Like it's not people don't play Overwatch because it's bad. People don't play Overwatch because they don't want to fucking play it. They
Dude,
gotta make a reason to play the game.
I actually think it's like more simple than it. I think we're missing the big picture, bro.
All right,
Overwatch has
explain,
a
bro.
really, really bad like public image. Like you
Right,
go to
it's
anyone on
marketing.
you go to any. I guess it's funny. You go to anyone on the street and they're like you play Overwatch, like ew,
Yeah, some guy
no.
in my
And but
chat said
Marvel
that he's
Rival is like
embarrassed to tell people he plays Overwatch.
yeah, I know, but like Marvel
Yeah,
Rival is like a worse Overwatch, but it's like new
it's
and
popular.
people
No,
talk
you're
about
right.
it. It's just probably
I
I don't
think
know how they would save it.
I think
But
they need, this might not make sense to you guys, but like I've played a lot of esports and like played a lot of games. I think they need to put more effort into esports. The most popular Overwatch was because of Overwatch League. Like obviously
Yeah.
Overwatch League was dog shit, but esports pushes games past the boundary of just like its initial hype. Like even Counter-Strike right now, they see its biggest peaks during its majors. Same with League of Legends. Right now, it's peaking because of Worlds. Even Marvel Rivals was peaking because their $1 million Ignite tournament or whatever. Like I think our tournaments are just so shit. Like listen, sadly, a lot of the promotion is due to this like the money prize, right? And Blizzard has the money to do it. Like if we had $1 million tournaments, people might be interested in watching a tournament that makes people want to play it. But our tournaments are $100,000. Like who
Is that what
fucking cares?
OWCS is? How much is it?
I think Dallas was 100,000. Yeah,
Wow. Okay.
EWC was like 1 million, but that was like not Blizzard.
Yeah. Yeah, that was Saudi League, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
or face it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, so I guess the question, one thing I would like to ask you guys, someone who hasn't followed as much, how like it seems that to me like the culture around OWCS has been pretty accepted and grown a lot, which has been I hope that's the case. I mean, shit, we've all had to play like that before, and it's always good to see people succeed. How are you guys feeling about OWCS and apply? Like, I'll give it to you, I guess. How could they market OWCS to be the thing that ignites that spark in Overwatch again?
Well, first of all, it'll never be as popular as Overwatch League because of regionals. Like, I'm not trying to be mean to anyone individually, but like, if you tune into Overwatch and you're like, oh, let's check out this esport, bro. I love Counter Strike. I love League. Let's check out Overwatch. And you see Team Liquid versus Dill Ducks, you're probably never going to watch again. Like, Tree jumps off the map 16 times on Ilios. You're probably never going to watch. And that just kind of is how it is. Like, so I don't know. They need to figure out a way to put more money into it where, the teams are back in LA or something. And it's not like they don't have the money. I think they just see it as a money sink because it failed previously. So I just think with regions right now, no matter what, there's going to be 2 or 3 useless fucking teams. And that competition isn't as fun. I also think the effort from the pro players isn't there. It's just like a trickle down system. Like the pro players don't care that much because they're not making that much money. And then the
Hot
fans
take.
don't care. Hit me, go ahead.
instead of flying out all these streamers to events 24/7, people who could stream from a private build anyway, though they're worried about leaks, so this would make sense. What if they flew players out? Dude, some of the best parts of Overwatch League were the fact that all the teams were in LA together. Like, that was fucking lit. What if they did that? Back to you. That's something they could do, potentially. Because the streamers are going to get the content anyway. It's going to come out anyway.
Yeah. There's just, I mean, I think they are doing a good job right now. It's just they lost a lot of the hype. Like, a thing that I always mention when someone asked about Overwatch League was how ridiculous some of the Overwatch League contracts were. Where if you were a pro player, you couldn't even be live during Overwatch League. Like if you
That's
like,
insane.
yeah, when you're in Overwatch
What a
League,
miss.
yeah,
What a
not only
miss.
could you not co-stream it, but you couldn't even be live. Like they just didn't want to promote anything about the players. They just wanted to hold Overwatch League like close to their chest. They didn't care about any of the players becoming popular or anything. It was they just fumbled a lot. And I think Blizzard is doing a good job right now. It's just it's too late, kind of. They just had to make drastic changes and money moves, really.
I think from my POV, I've competed. I think they make it really easy for like competitors. If you're like playing, they make it pretty easy to climb the rank. Like it's like, oh, OWCS, any of us could play in it if we just start in open division, then go up to advanced, then expert, then master, and keep winning. So they make it like pretty open. You know, anybody could really get onto OWCS if they want to. But then you get like those situations where like, yeah, Dilducks are playing Team Liquid. I think a problem with that is the roster restrictions are pretty harsh. Like you can only make 3 roster moves in between seasons. So like if you have a team that you don't think is that good, they're not going to suddenly be really good the next season because they have to keep so many players, and Team Liquid's just going to keep their players, so like they're going to be better. And then you have partner teams just getting way more resources than like the Dilducks. Obviously, we keep using them as an example, but like they're
Shout out Jack.
they're a partner team. Yeah.
Zamba says it's just player quality, but that also has to do with money, though. The player quality back then was higher because
It
they're
was
making
so
more
crazy.
money. Like a lot of the players, there would be more players if there was more money. Like it's just sadly
And
there's not,
to
and
add
there's no
on,
reason to get better.
And I feel like it's
think about how stacked Contenders was back then when we were
Like I was
playing.
thinking about the other day, dude. Like when I was in Contenders tier 2, bro, I was making 2K a month. Tier 2, not even Overwatch League. I was making 2K a month and a $5,000 apartment paid for in tier 2. Like and things were just it was just different. Like, and I don't want to hear like they don't have the money because they fucking do. Like Microsoft is $80 billion. If they wanted to put in the effort to try to revive the esport, they could. But I think just because of how Overwatch League went, they're probably very apprehensive of trying to do anything.
I mean, maybe the esports audience is just not that like big.
But it's not that big because there's no effort into it.
But no, it is big.
I
Though.
don't know.
It's
Is
bigger.
that true, bro? I mean, I feel like
I mean, the OWCS streams themselves, they're bigger than any individual streamer outside of XQC,
Yeah.
the one guy that this community
okay,
ran off.
but
Which
then
was
like
a big mistake, huge mistake.
okay,
Huge
but
mistake
then
running
you
him
watch
off.
like Worlds at like 4 a.m. and it has like 500,000 viewers,
No,
bro. Like
but
last night.
that proves my point. Look at Worlds compared to OWCS, bro. Like you
People
can't
care
wait.
about the League of Legends competitive side. There's still a competitive side in Overwatch, but I don't think people really like care.
Well, I
Bro.
think
People care about
Overwatch
stadium.
burned the bridge to the mainstream casual swing gamer because of Overwatch too. I think like not just because of Overwatch. There's a lot of things that went wrong. I think Apply's right that you can organically grow it again. I think they've been doing the best they can with what they can. But overall, if they want Overwatch's esport to do better, they have to fix the game's outward facing perception towards
Yeah.
the average gamer. And I'm not just talking about like the dedicated players. I'm talking about like my roommate and stepbrother who loves to play games casually but is not big into shooters. But even he's like, oh, dude, fuck Overwatch. Dude, look at what they did to the game because of PvE and they canceled the original. They need a TV show. They need something, which I think they'll get, actually. I think they'll get a TV show eventually. The only reason it fell through was because I think Activision and Bobby Kotick poached Netflix CFO, and in retaliation, they canceled Overwatch's Netflix show, was what the leak or the rumor on the street was in like 2020. So, and look, that will come eventually. Like, I'll be honest with you guys. Overwatch has been through a lot. It's not going anywhere. It's not going to like 100% die out. Should it be better than it is right now in terms of public perception? Yes. However, I think with this current team and the direction they're going, I think they're going to get it there eventually. And I think the esport will grow secondary after the fact. Like the esport, in order to succeed, has to have casual players' interest. There has to be casual players interested in the game. And unfortunately, what game just took all the casual players?
Yeah.
more rivals, right? Now that
Yeah.
can
And
change
Deadlock.
in a moment, and Deadlock too, which I think I'm excited for too. And I think Blizzard will get it there. I think the newer version of Blizzard is a lot better, but applies right. Like you got to grow this slowly over time. And my biggest advice to the OWCS community is running out creators like Flats is not going to fucking help you. I don't care what he says. I think the biggest mistake the Overwatch pro scene has done is it's caved into freaking mindless Twitter goons constantly and driven so much talent away from the space. For granted, some dramas more than others, but some of the shit that happened to XQC back in the day that I still get people in my replies hating on him for, where I'm like, guys, this is bigger than you. This guy went on to be the biggest streamer in the world. You grew him from the grassroots. There should be no time where he ever outgrows your game. That's just one example, but you can go on to so many streamers. Tim the Tapman blew up from Overwatch. He won't touch the game anymore. And a big part of that is like how the Overwatch Twitter community reacts. It's not everything. It's a very, very small, probably like 10% of it, to be blunt with you. But it's there. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it. And I wish that the Overwatch community, and this is why I love what the community is doing, PGE and guys like that, embrace these personalities, man. If they make a mistake, stick with them, right? Help them grow, and they'll stay by you. And I think that was the big mistake that original Overwatch made, or a big one, was finding these creators, finding these people when they're representing your brand, they're growing. Look at some of the shit pro athletes play through, dude. These guys have literally, there's a guy that ran a guy over, was in jail, and he signed to a roster 3 years later. And nobody cares. It's crazy. But that's the world we live in. And like Overwatch could never do that with their products. And freaking that one dude from the Raiders, we won't get into it, but sorry to go off topic on you, Durpee. But yeah, no, stick by your creators, embrace them, and grow them. Accept them for who they are, and do the best you can with them. And you will see results. And you will see, because imagine if XQC was still tied to AL to some degree, or OWCS. You can't tell me that wouldn't help the scene. You can't.
I think what they're doing right with OWCS is that they're allowing creators to stream the matches. That was something we saw a lot more last year. But like, you know, PG is a great example. Like PG and Rack would stream every single like whatever team they're on, NRG, students of the game, but they would stream those matches. They were POV. It's so fun to watch like POVs and hear player comms. And then you just got people like streaming scrims. That's fun to watch, and that gets a lot of the casuals into the esports. That's one thing they did that I thought was pretty good.
Sick.
Yeah.
All right, fellas, I gotta go.
No,
Sorry,
you're good.
No. I'm
hours.
not in a rush.
You're good.
I had a good fucking time, man. Thank you for having me, Durpee. I really
course.
appreciate
It's been an honor, bro.
Later,
course.
Pyre. Later, Samito.
All right, see you, buddy.
Goodbye.
I'll see you guys later.
Goodbye.
Peely's out of here.
All right.
See you, Peely. My bad. I kept you guys too long. My fault.
No, you're
I'm
good.
a
It was fun to
yapper,
have you
man.
on
Never
here.
know.
So many good talking points.
It was great, bro.
Yeah, it was a good time. Pyro, I had a good time. I love the costume.
was good.
Durpee. Any signing off words for us? What do you got? Man?
Yeah, no, I always encourage, you know, if you ever want to come back on, just let me know. But yeah, I think the whole point of this thing is to like get people from different communities to, you know, share opinions. And, you know, like obviously you and me, Samito, we're both competitive players, but like our chats probably don't know each other. Like we kind of cater to different people. So the whole thing is
we
like,
came from the same sandbox.
yeah, we did. We came from Mindplex, man. No.
I was a Mindplex player, bro. I granted that.
I probably.
What'd you play? What'd you play?
I played. Do you remember the old like CS:GO like?
Mind Strike. Yeah.
Yes, bro. I played the heck out of that, bro.
Yeah,
That was so
Dude, I couldn't play that because I'd crash. They like don't
That
even like a
game-
texture pack. It was on the laptop.
That game legit got me into like esports, bro. Because then I played Counter-Strike off that, and then
You will play. I think with
that
the
was
raid,
nice,
bro.
bro.
Thanks,
That was
man.
good.
Thanks for getting on there.
Good to hear. Well, guys, listen, I appreciate you all having me. Best of luck, and
course.
I'll have you guys back in the future. Keep grinding, boys. It's good to
All right.
good to see a new generation coming up.
Appreciate it,
Goodbye,
man.
bro.
Thanks
Goodbye,
for getting
bro.
on.
All right. Yeah, dude.
Bye.
Anytime.
All right.
Peace out, boys.
I'll see you guys.
Bro, I hope I can articulate my fucking thoughts as good as Samito one day, bro.
Dude,
Bro,
Samito
how
was
is
so
he
good at
good at
talking,
that?
bro. I knew it would be a
I'm so good
legendary
at talking, bro.
episode.
What
I
the
know.
fuck?
No, Samito's the
What the
goat.
fuck? You can't even
Well, you
like
got
rate
beef with
that.
me,
You
by
can't
the way.
even-
You are constantly dissing on me, bro. I think randomly, like, you give
because
me a stray at
my
one point, bro. You're just talking about
Bro,
shit,
of
and
course
then
I
like,
give you straight, and,
by the
I'm
way,
owning
fuck
this show
Durpee.
because my first my first introduction to you is you just like perma complaining about the game. And I'm
That's
like,
what I
this
fit
guy's a
into,
fucking-
bro. This is what it is. That's the content I put out. I don't like lose
And
games
guess what? You're
because of
miserable
it.
every day, and you're miserable every day,
What?
and you're miserable, and you have to live with.
Bro,
And you know what?
Pirate,
I'm
you-
not miserable every day. What?
Well, did you get rated by Apply, and now you want to like start like being a dickhead? That's awesome, bro. What? Bro,
I stand
Pirate.
on what I believe in, bro. What?
Pirate, you don't play tank in Overwatch 2.
Thank fucking God, bro.
Yep. You watch Cardi
That's
fan, he's
so-
miserable now. He plays Thanos heroes
Okay.
too. And he's still miserable because it's tank in Overwatch 2. Oh, but we need 5v5 because I can do damage on Kiriko. Kiriko didn't exist in 6v6, and then you
And
played
you
6v6
and
in
it's so
Overwatch 2 and you played
I can't
Doomfist.
and I can't voice my opinion without being like you're biased because you
Bro,
play
no,
healer.
it's fine,
Well, maybe
whatever.
when the role of healer is fun and not like fucking Marvel Rivals slop bullshit, the game
It's
is better
not.
in general too.
Bro, you loved Overwatch 1. I always saw you on. And they added Kiriko. That was actually a good point that I never thought of. Dude, you did, like, have you actually tried taking a game seriously on, like, Kiriko or Alari in 6v6 in this mode?
Fuck no,
Yeah, bro, so you
who is
can't
queuing
speak
that
on
game
that.
mode?
Yeah,
Who
exactly,
is
it's
queuing
dead, but,
that
like,
game
bro, you
mode?
didn't even try it. It actually could, like, open opportunities up to do damage on support. You have these heroes that are designed to do damage.
I wake up, I play Overwatch because I want to be the best Overwatch player I can be,
That's awesome.
not the best 66 arcade player I
I'm
could
not
be,
telling
bro.
you
I
you
don't
gotta
give a
play it. It is a dead mode, but when you're arguing 5v5 and 6v6, you have to acknowledge that all of your damage heroes didn't even exist in Overwatch 1. So when you're thinking about like 6v6, 5v5, you need to acknowledge the fact that these damage heroes are now in the game, and they'd still be in the game in 6v6. I'm not telling you to play it. You just have to acknowledge
No.
it with the argument.
I'm aware of that, bro. You know what else I'm aware of? All the tanks got reworked in 5v5 to be more like, they can play themselves, like they can do a lot more. Like Orisa, compare Overwatch 1 Orisa to Overwatch 2 Orisa, but you can't compare it. Now you put the Overwatch 2 Orisa in 66. Think about how many balance issues. When there's no off take main tank, think about the balance issues, bro. I don't even know what that would entail, but that's fucking trash. It goes both ways, bro.
The balance at the end of Overwatch 1 was good.
Bro, I just saw Rabbit Chicken. He keeps asking what rank I am, bro. Rabbit Chicken, what rank do you think I am? Oh, I think you're fucking platinum. Why? Why do you think I'm platinum, bro? You're Rabbit Chicken, bro. What did I say that? Can we get Rabbit Chicken on the podcast next week, bro?
Bro, no, next week
No,
we
he
got...
asked what rank I was in like Samito's chat too.
Dude, you got everybody's chat pulled up.
Or not, maybe not.
Don't let it get to you, bro. You gotta acknowledge you're gonna get some hate as a big creator now, bro. You've leveled up. You've stepped up to the task. Flats is gone, and you've stepped up, bro. So you're gonna get some hate, and it's fine. I just wish you didn't have beef with me, bro, for no reason. So I'm trying to...
Okay, bro. We squashed the beef, bro.
Kappa.
We legit just squashed it right now.
Kappa.
We squashed right now, bro.
Kappa.
Bro, I literally
know you-
defended like your Reinhardt, bro. I was like on your side.
That was the
Play
one
Rein-
time, bro.
Bro,
I forgot what
you-
example
you
I'm
think-
talking about. You literally threw me astray for no reason at all, bro. I forgot.
I threw this straight at Samito too. Though it went both ways.
Dude, it wasn't even
But
one
you
that we were
complain
talking
about no, it's
complaining.
fucking disgusting. You complain about the game. You're like, oh, this, that, bro. 5v5. Dude, you don't play Overwatch like anyone else plays Overwatch, bro. Why did you think you can sit in your fucking high chair and talk, bro?
Bro,
play
you just
Reinhardt,
had
hold
3
right click.
people on the podcast that disagreed with you. You can't say I'm the odd guy out. You're the only
It
guy
wasn't
we've
even
had
like
in the podcasts.
It's not even like that much of like a. I think we agreed that you can either prefer to play like a MOBA or like a deathmatchy.
That shit was
I
funny as
just,
fuck
like,
when Gaming for
prefer
Hope was
5v5.
cooking you, by the way, on 5v5, and he was totally correct.
When was
He
Gaming
said,
for-
can't you do
when
2
was the-
left clicks and 1 right click on Baptiste? He said, can't you do damage on Baptiste? 2 left
This
clicks,
did
1
not
right click?
happen.
You got fucking
This did not
cooked last
happen.
week. It did happen. The VOD,
That did not
the
happen.
VOD is published on 3 platforms. It
That
happened.
did not happen.
It did happen. Gaming for Hope cooked you.
That
You
did
had
not
nothing
happen.
to say. He said,
You know
Pirate,
what, bro?
I'm curious, what heroes do you play? You said Baptiste, and he's like, oh, wait, can't you do 2 left clicks and 1 right click? You said
I don't know
nothing.
what you're talking about.
It happened.
I don't know
You
what you're
got
talking
cooked, and now you're
about.
denying
That-
it in front of an audience because you got cooked by
Gaming for
Gaming
Hope
for Hope.
Did
He wasn't
not
even trying to cook you.
antagonize
He
anyone. Gaming for Hope did not cook.
He wasn't even trying to.
We
He
were
just
very
brought up.
respectful.
No, he wasn't even trying to.
Why
Yeah,
you
he's a
make
very
that?
respectful guy. He wasn't trying to cook you. He just
Bro,
brought up a
Debbie.
point, and you had nothing to say.
Bro, Durpee, you know what? Maybe we can find a middle ground, bro. I would actually play. Oh my gosh, I would actually play 6v6, and I would actually think it's better if they did that and they reverted season 9, bro. If they reverted season 9,
So in
And then I'll
Overwatch
prefer-
1 plus your heroes,
Yeah.
right? Okay,
Yeah,
bro,
and then the game will be
fine.
balanced
Yeah,
better.
wait, hello? Wait, why couldn't you have said this on the podcast? We talked about this for 3 hours.
because we're discussing a disagreement within like the fundamentals of 4 tanks versus 2 tanks, and I still agree that 2 tanks is sloppy and dog shit,
They were
and that
cooking.
doesn't change it. Whether it's season 9 or not, it doesn't.
Okay,
change
but
it.
dude, if you're like
Still-
doing pre-fight damage on
revert
Kiriko,
how about you revert season 9 in 5v5, and then like
sure.
people can play the game.
No, but
There
it's
you
still
go.
bad because tank is still fundamentally dog shit, bro. Pirate, if you're playing
Iron
Kiriko
is,
off
Iron is
lane,
typing in your chat.
huh?
Bro, Iron is typing in your chat like as if he's not the type of guy to like season 9, bro.
Okay, bro, Pirate, if you're playing Kiriko in 6v6 current day, and you do headshot damage to his Zarya, you hit 1 headshot, isn't it crazy how hard that impacts the fight? Like, isn't that good for you?
I wasn't sure what you're saying back on that.
If you're playing Kiriko in 6v6 against Zarya's 6v6 mode, and you do one headshot to the Zarya, you force so much more than
Now
you do
imagine if
today
you
in
do-
5v5.
Well, yeah, but you can't get a pick on a Zarya. It's so hard. You can get a pick on the Squishy.
Okay, but you can like force the fight to change drastically by getting one
course,
headshot
yeah.
on the Zarya.
Getting a headshot on a Zarya is probably
And
more
you can
impactful
still
than
get a kill
headshot
on the
a
Squishy.
solo tank. No, because
What do you think is gonna happen? You play Kiriko in 6v6, dude.
You have to heal more in 6v6, bro. You're acting like that's not true. You can't. Your tanks will
I'm
die
gonna
a lot
tell you how the
easier,
game
so you have
works,
to
bro. When you do
tell your
more
tanks more.
damage, here, listen. When you do more damage, the enemy team requires more heals, and that makes it so the enemy team has to stabilize and do more heals versus doing more damage to your team. So your team is gonna take less damage as a result of you doing more damage, and it all kind of wraps perfectly to where like it's just a great gameplay loop in 6v6. It's not like you're just gonna be off angling and killing 3, and then like your team will fall over if you're not playing in gold. Like they're probably gonna understand. Oh, dude, I have a Kiriko Baptiste comp. My Bap's
Can we
gonna
look
heal
at
me.
Rabbit? No. Look at Rabbit Chicken's logs, bro, and before I ban him, make sure it's fucking justified, bro.
What would happen if Pirate and XQC had a kid with the universe rip apart? Dude, why would you ban this guy from my chat? This guy's a new. He loves the podcast. He just tuned in. He doesn't know who you are.
You have an ego now.
Is this
Look at him.
XQC's son? What rank is Pirate Gold? Question mark. I called him out. No response, and then now he's still on that fucking XQC shit, bro.
Well, now because he knows he's getting to you, bro, so he's gonna keep typing this bullshit.
You can have Rabbit Chicken on the podcast next week, bro. I'm retired, bro. Goodbye. No, I'm actually
Really?
goodbye, bro.
Okay, bro. Peace.
I'm leaving.
All right.